Well, dude, how are you?
Good, I'm very well, thank you. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're just like connecting at the minute, so we're hoping it's going to connect in any second now, and I'll be talking about it connecting, and you'll only hear half of that. There's multiple people in the bath, or watching me in the bath. I don't own a bath, so that's impressive. But welcome, everyone. How's it going? Thank you very much for tuning in. Welcome to the Monday Night 40k show, which is every single Monday at 6 p.m. You should know that by now. If you don't, then welcome. You're brand new. But every single Monday, we've been streaming every Monday for the past year now, nearly. Yeah, a year next month, which is exciting. But every single Monday at 6 p.m. we've been streaming. I'm joined by the lovely Jay from twitch.tv/Mohawk Miniatures. Are you alright?
I'm doing good, dude. Yeah, doing really well. I've got some quality toothache, but otherwise, I'm all right.
Absolutely having a great time.
Loving life.
Brilliant.
How's you, man? How's you? I watched your latest YouTube video this morning.
Yeah?
I say this morning. I mean, it was closer to like the start of the afternoon because I didn't get out of bed this morning. Really, really, really funny. I loved it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, it was really good. It took me a lot longer to make than I would have liked, but I was really, really chuffed with it. Like, obviously, because it was like a month. It was sat in my my work in progress. But yeah, really chuffed with it. Really, really chuffed with it. So thank you everyone who did tune in and watch it. If you liked the video, then go. If you didn't like the video, then go like it now because I need ad revenue.
I think after that, what you need is to give your girlfriend a nice, like, romantic candlelit dinner, some chocolates, some flowers, and stuff like that. Because her reactions, which were occasionally
priceless,
not particularly positive, were the star of the show.
Yeah, I know, it was really, really fun. It was really good, and it seemed like everyone liked it. It's an interesting thing I was talking in Discord about this morning, that the views for it are up, the watch time is up, the average view duration is up, but the click-through is really low. So I changed the thumbnail this morning, which people might have seen, and it seems to have picked up. So if you haven't already, go watch it, please, for the love of God. It cost me a lot of money to make that video, so I'd like a few more views. But thank you, everyone.
It's okay, mate. You'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, it'd be good. But you had a good weekend as well. You were a bit busy, weren't you, doing your birthday stream, giving away everything, which was fun.
Mate, we had to come up with prizes. So it's the 2-year anniversary of the show, and we painted a Tyranid army. And this is the only model we actually got finished. But this is the Warlord, the Neurothrope. Love it, absolutely love it. And the support from the stream was so overwhelming that I ran out of overlays, even the contingency ones I'd made for new prizes.
Brilliant.
And so we ended up, we got to a point where I just said, you know what, here's what we're going to do. The next giveaway is just going to be this. And we gave away a game mat, an entire table's worth of terrain. So
nice.
Not only were we giving away armies, entire airbrush setups, we were also giving away basically the table.
Nice, man.
So we got it all.
Got it all. Ventress 40k, thank you very much for the sub, dude. 7 months in a row at tier 1. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. Thank you very much for your support. It's very kind. 7 months? That's a long time. That's a long time. Have you got Amazon Prime?
Good time.
If you got Amazon Prime gamers, you know what I'm going to say, so make sure you use it. But yeah, so thank you very much for tuning in. Let's see who we got. We got Gaz Cole Thraka, we got Ginger Steve, and Science Pie.
One.
The real one, yeah. The real one, yeah.
Damn.
We got Science Pie and Ginger Steve both talking about baths, which is great. Beanbag.
Have they got a bath mat? You know.
I mean, I know a good one. There's a guy on Reddit.
I know a good one. It's a fabulous one, in fact.
there's a guy on Reddit. He designed a great one. It's so funny because I posted that picture on Reddit of the bath mat, and it was just like, oh my god, I can't believe you actually bought it. I designed it. And I was like, who the fuck would buy a bath mat with that on it? And I was like, hi, hey.
Turns out nobody, unless you Unless you're basically being penalised.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it's a punishment. So thanks for that. We got Ventress Dark. We got DN Stuff. How's it going? Thank you much for your message the other day. DN Stuff was very kind of you. Marcos, we got Paul says hi, Jay. Also, there's Mikey too. Hi. Hi, Paul. Gazball Trades, Concentration Face, Juice Box, hello, and Tom as well. And Tier 3J. And over on Twitch. Tier 3J, yeah. Nice. Are you Tier 3J?
I thought I was S Tier J, actually. So, you know, I'll take that. I'm really sorry, mate. I'm going to have to just pop off for 5 minutes. I do apologise. Just come up.
That's cool.
Go back.
That's cool. That's all right. Where are we? There we are. Hello. Is this Mohawk interview stream on how to raise funds? Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. If you have Amazon Prime, go to Mohawk Games, you're a star, Mike. Exactly, Still Show. That's what it's all about. It's all about supporting everyone, you know? And good morning, Casakin from Canada. But yeah, so this is the Monday 40k show. Jay will be joining us soon again. Basically, on a Monday, what we do, we talk about things that have been happening in the Warhammer community and things that are like causing issues or like just generally people having a good time and hopefully talking about some cool stuff. My hands are too wet to pick up the phone, so I just had to process that. Brilliant, Science Pie. Hey, thank you very much for the cheer, cause. Thank you very much for the 45 bits. Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Very cool. So we got some interesting topics today. So me and Jay are going to be discussing them. Don't bring your screen back when Jay gets back to see how long it takes for him to notice. Maybe. So there's been interesting stuff. We're going to be talking about, obviously, if you've seen the thumbnail and the title today, it's talking about the new Drakari Codex because there's some interesting data that's come out this weekend that we can discuss. We're going to be talking about general 40k data as well. It's a little bit of a data show. Mike, I need the sponsor Amazon link. Which Amazon link do you mean, mate? Jay's suffering after a diet of beer and pizza. That sounds like he had a good weekend, to be fair. Can you imagine if he just like shot himself? That would be quite funny. So I don't want to go too much into it because I like to discuss it with Jay, but there is 5 out of 5 events. There's like people moaning in the competitive 40k group. Out of 5 events, Drakari won 4 of them, which is quite interesting. That affiliate link. What do you need, bro? I can sort you an affiliate link out. Let me know. But what have you guys been up to? Have you had a good weekend? Have you been doing anything 40k or Warhammer related in general this weekend? Jay's finally had enough of my shit. Well, maybe this is the time to go solo. Maybe now's the time. I'm going to give him 3 minutes and then I'm going to start talking about the fourth topic. What have you guys been up to? We doing much 40k? Where am I bought up and watch Jay? I mean, Jay was streaming all weekend, so it's hard not to. I mean, I was lurking. Sadly, I was quite busy. When are you going to do a drunk stream then? I think I'm going to do a hot tub stream. It's the Twitch meta is hot tub streams in the minute, so. Which is fun. It's very fun. Everybody's doing it. I love chatting with you guys, to be fair, Greening. My favourite part of the show. Just chatting, you know? I'm going to go to just chatting category. I've gone balls deep in some training for Gardenhammer. Nice, dude. What sort of training have you gone for? And I've been painting tile, finally putting together a fully painted hour with it, only taken 8 years. Mohawk and Beard Keeney hot tub stream. I mean, again, it's the Twitch meta. Like, everyone's doing a hot tub stream, so maybe I need to do one as well. Let me know. Prepping my wallet for the flood of new sisters. Yeah, let's talk about new sisters while we wait for Jay, because I'm probably not going to make a video about it, because it's just like one model once again. I got my how-to video for Drakari released on my hobby channel. I've been editing a video, talking to Tom later, taking big inspiration from you. Well, thank you very much, Gaz. Let me know when it's done. Post it in the Discord in the other channels, channel. And yeah, I'll get a watch. But thanks, man. It's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you. Coffee Chats and Memes. Coffee Chats and Memes, the new Hellstorm show coming soon. Exactly. I am just about to run out of coffee. No, I've just run out of coffee. New sister, get one up everyone and do a sauna stream. Oh hell yeah, let's go. The only problem is cameras. Cameras in a sauna would not be good, so I'd just be through glass. It'd be like Titanic in the taxi. That's what it'd be like. Hello gamers, how are you? I can see you again, and then it just steams up again. It'd be hilarious. Some laser cut MDF still got nearly 2 tails for 80. That's cheap, cuz. That's cheap, man. That's really cheap. Hey, Cappy Chaos, how's it going? So Sisters have been stealing even more from the Space Marines. As you can see, the new Battle Sisters bulletin once again, Monday. Monday equals new Sisters Space Marine unit. We got the Space Marine Sisters Ancient coming out with... What is this face? Honestly, what is this? Looks like a monk. I know that's what it's supposed to be. Shut up. I think there's a helmeted version there. And the preview is much better. Like, you look at the preview. You can see there's like a helmeted version there. That's like a nice mini. That's a nice mini. But then this guy. So the Battle Sister has it all. Faith, a sword, an absolutely massive banner, and every other Space Marine unit they didn't have yesterday. Welcome to the latest installment. We have a new Ancient. The sister known as Astrid Thurga is dedicated her life to protection of one relic above all others, the wonderfully named Auto Tapestry of the Emperor's Judgment. Weaved across the lifespans of 5 canonesses and throbbing with holy power of the Emperor's gaze, the Auto Tapestry and its indomitable custodian can be found in the records of some of the bloodiest battles the Adeptus Sororitas has ever faced.
I think the Emperor's gaze is one thing, but I'm not entirely certain what's going on with her gaze.
No, her gaze is... We were just saying, like, the preview has got, like, a much nicer helmet. Oops.
It's got a helmet.
Oh, god damn.
Yeah.
It looks much better. It's an open face helmet, but I like it. You know, it's a nice mini.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Nicely sculpted facial features.
That's a nice...
Eyes have been painted with skill.
That's a great thumbnail, for example. We love that.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yeah, let's just, like, get some monk off some British TV show. Put that head on instead.
Basically, yeah. Yeah. And let's not paint the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not bother. I have never been baited harder by a title. I mean, we're going to be talking about it. It's not really bait. Hey, Mikey.
Hang on. You think this is the biggest clickbait title Mikey's done?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, bro,
I know,
get
right?
out.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be clickbaited, go watch yesterday's video. I'm not worrying. They always look great when the hobbies get hands on them. Yeah, exactly. So it's just interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a special character rather than like a generic unit. Because it's got a name.
Yeah, she has a name. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the one relic. The Auto Tapestry of the Emperor's Judgment does sound like it sort of printed itself, though.
Yeah. Automated banner.
It just randomly crocheted itself across the surface of this.
I found a hot tub for you in the memes channel. Oh yeah, hell yeah, let's go gamers. Hot tub stream coming soon.
Oh wait, hang on.
Hell yeah. Hey Mikey, LGT terrain, yay or nay? The LGT terrain isn't bad. It's not brilliant. It's not bad though.
Functionally good.
Yeah. Hey, that's on that. Thank you much for the resub. 9 months in a row.
Wedge.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much, dude. Really appreciate it. The LGT terrain is okay. It's not bad, you know? If you haven't got any other table, then it's not bad. It's not perfect. I think it's a little bit under... what's a good word for it? There isn't quite enough coverage, I think. Because it's very 8th edition.
One pack is not enough.
No.
Whereas it was for 8th edition, it was I mean, just enough, but it was an okay. That was kind of the bare minimum tournament table, especially. For 9th, you need to go a little bit deeper with that. I've got a couple of layouts for it on a 60 by 44 table that work really well. because you're combining elements of the terrain, and that's fine. But for just like the one set laid out in the normal kind of layout that you used to find, it's no.
Yeah, it's not very
You'll
good.
have a game, but you won't necessarily have the best game, and sometimes you'll have some really bad games.
Yeah, exactly. Like the thing is with 40k, is that like especially tables, there's like it's so hard to get the balance right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you go too light, then shooting armies dominate. If you go too heavy, then combat armies dominate.
Yeah,
so it's really hard to find
right.
that middle ground. But I think like with the LGT stuff, if it had like some woods or some like extra little craters, it'd be all right. Just gives them more ground coverage. But like just big blocks of L's doesn't really work if you got nothing else.
That's right. I think you can do like they've got the. They call them like area terrain, and it's like this big vent.
Yeah.
With the aid of some cotton wool and a couple of spray cans, you can turn that into something that actually does block a bit of line of sight and becomes dense cover rather than just this little.
Yeah, it's just
thing.
a crater of the rise, isn't it? Really, that's the best you can do with it. But yeah, interesting though. But yeah, it's not bad.
But either way,
bad.
I mean, both of those, like, all of that is just sort of proven that it's okay, but you're gonna have to do something else with it or to it. So for a straight out of the box solution, there's probably better options out there.
Yeah, the problem is like the best setup I like is the WTC style.
Yeah,
but like for someone who films battle reports, I don't like the plastic card look around the edge that the company they use.
Yeah. Totally.
Great,
it's not
perfectly
the sexiest terrain.
Yeah, perfectly functional terrain. Looks great. Like plate functions great. Sorry, but like the look isn't for me.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll find some way of dealing with that.
Yeah, exactly. I like the fact that LGT terrain. Why am I struggling to say that today? LGT terrain is prescriptive, like it's the standard of terrain you can expect to play on a table and therefore practice on. It is and it isn't, because like
it was. I think it's the best way to say that.
It was. It won't be for much longer.
Yeah.
As soon as big events in the UK start up again, I imagine the LGT terrain pack might adjust. Which I make the most sense.
I believe they have. So even the LGT.
I mean, like off the shelf.
One set of it.
I mean, off the shelf.
Oh, I know. Yeah, sure.
The terrain rules for the tournament are changing every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice if
adding more, and the fact that adding more shows that the normal, like the OG pack, isn't enough.
Yeah, exactly. So I imagine like off the shelf box, it'll get adjusted, maybe a little bit more in it. Probably cost more as well, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you'd expect that. I mean,
yeah.
More stuff, more money.
Yeah, LGT terrain feels a bit like these days. Yeah, exactly, mate. So it just needs a little bit more going on. As I said, it doesn't need more buildings. It needs more like random battlefield stuff, like some crates or some more craters or some wood type things. You know, I think crates
are really good.
I think like MDF crates in that box and make it like a really interesting tournament pack.
Yeah.
But at the minute, it's just like it's not worth the investment, in my opinion. Not for like if you like, I'm practicing. Yeah, I'm practicing and I want to buy one terrain set. I wouldn't recommend it. If you were like, I'm practicing, I'm going to buy some terrain, I'd be like, buy this and this, you know?
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely.
But
I
that
like crates on tables. Yeah. They're easy to hide stuff behind. They're actually line of sight blocking, which is always good. So yeah, big fan of adding crates to stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know this. So it's through TT Combat. The TT Combat are obviously a big UK MDF. Not sponsored, just talking about it because it came up. But if you want to sponsor me, let me know. Email in the description. Let's just say I'm going to need a lot soon, so let me know.
Put it this way, I'll even paint your Rumble Slam mini. How's that?
But yeah, so hi Jay, are you okay?
Hi Mike, I am now.
There are some questionable comments about why you needed to go in the chat.
So I'm going to make one comment, and I think get this or they won't.
I think that's it. I think we've heard enough.
That one would have hit a door as well.
I said we've heard enough.
It's vague enough that most people won't get that, but all of my guys will know.
Yeah, lovely. Why aren't you wearing that sexy Space Marine ring? I mean,
Is Georgie's hidden / thrown it away?
Oh no, I've still got it. It's like next to where I sit when I'm playing Curse City, next to my Catgirl coaster. And I should let you know that I always use Catgirl coaster. It's just on my desk. It's so good.
Right.
I've actually got 2 on my desk.
Mine are just little black felt round ones. They're not special, but they're classy.
Sounds boring. No Catgirls, not interested.
But, you know, I'm an older guy, you know, a little bit more reserved with my mohawk.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Space Marine show and tell. Gazcore, go and watch yesterday's video. Simple as that. It says $1,000 on bad Warhammer merch. But yeah. Make sure you go watch it. Really cool.
You've done in a while. And Tom, who's in the chat, may I just say, sir, your editing of that video was superb.
Which one? Yesterday's.
Did you not do the merch one?
No. Martin thought that as well. Tom is an absolutely fantastic editor, and he deserves the credit. But I edited that one.
He's getting it.
But that's good, because that means people can't tell who's edited it, which means we're as good as each other. And that's what we like. That's what we like.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're as good as Tom.
I mean, I taught him everything he knows. I didn't really. Yeah, Tom's actually legend and edits a lot of videos. But I edited that one just because I had an idea for it. You know, it's one of those.
Yeah, it worked, man.
It seemed to. But Tom's actually legend. He edited the Premium Battle Report, which went out on Saturday. Necrons versus Death Guard. Yeah, and he edits pretty much every single list section of every video we've done. So, absolute legend. Absolute legend. But Tom, I'm just going to change it to just like edited by Tom, because everyone thinks it was you anyway.
It's because of some of the... I think some of the text overlay for it, it kind of gives the impression that it isn't you that's done the editing, it's someone else trying to send you a message. That's how it came
Yeah, I suppose like the bit with the orc, where it's like best I could do, boss. That could be seen as like, yeah, makes sense. No, it's funny though. But yeah, if you haven't watched it already, go watch it.
Achievement is still the Lion King singing that you did.
Yeah, I couldn't top that, to be fair. And if anyone's seen the Battle Report on Premium, the MS Paint skills by Tom are by far superior to anything I've ever done ever. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Having seen you use MS Paint live while streaming, that's a hard cap to go past.
Maybe I won't need to for very long, because there's a Kickstarter right now by Rightful Ruler, which I'm going to post in the chat. Yeah. But before I do, Cuts 40k, thank you very much for the sub! 2 months in a row! Woo. 2 months in a row at tier 1. Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate it. Very cool. There's a Kickstarter that's going on right now by Rightful Ruler, which is a streaming software for streamers. They're looking for 65,000 Hong Kong dollars, or 6,000 in UK money. There are currently 2,500. This is for live streaming. It's for augmented reality measurements, along with loads of other cool things. And I'm a massive advocate for this project. There's going to be a video coming out on the channel very, very soon about it. So please go and have a look. I've posted a link in the chat, and if you can, that'd be great. If you can't, then that's okay too. And I think now we've had the segue, which was unplanned but worked perfectly. But yes,
any, comfort to you, my segue was unplanned as well. It's urgent.
Yeah, lovely. Had a look at that. Very impressive. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's gonna be free software as well, so anyone can use it. Tom was
nice.
Tom was too busy learning how to use Microsoft Paint. That's why I didn't edit the merch video. It's true. His skills are far surpassed anyone on this planet with MS Paint. Then again, Vorgebreaker did do a good MS Paint of me onto Thanos yesterday, which was also very good. So I don't know. Okay, so are you ready to talk about Drukhari, Jay?
I'm always ready to talk about Drukhari.
Do you know much about the new Codex?
I know that quite a few people, when the Codex came out, were very, very, very unhappy with the power level of their Codex, and were saying, "Well, we've been shafted a bit, and we're no good. And only these few little things are really good." Now we've had some time gone past for the dust to settle a little bit. Do you think they were right?
I think Drakari are all right. I mean,
Yeah.
Liam from Goonhammer, good
No
friend
real
of.
evidence supporting that, though, right?
There's no real evidence, but Goonhammer, obviously a fantastic website. Liam, one of our good friends, wrote a review about the Codex and said it was overpowered, which everyone said he was wrong. He was very wrong.
I'm not going to say Liam's opinionated.
I mean,
I think he's normally pretty spot on the money when it comes to things. If I find his username ever so slightly accurate. But no, I think Liam is someone that has been playing Drukhari for a very long time, and he knows his shit.
He does know his stuff, for sure. So, there was a post 15 hours ago. We are hot off the trend in the competitive 40k group, which is a Facebook group that I frequent because it's full of either hilarity or salt. Or both. It's usually both.
It's normally vitriol somewhere in there.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a post this morning which has over 300 comments now, which says, everything is fine, nothing to see here. And what it is, it's multiple BCP screenshots. We have Motor City Mayhem 2021. We have War of the Wooden Spoon GT. We have Spring Up GT, Renegade Wargaming. We have hashtag Dead Primarch GT.
Brilliant.
Then we have War in the Berg, which is a little bit of an outlier, and people might be able to see why. But if we start again, can anyone see the connection between the above events and why everything is fine?
They're all American?
They are all American, and they just pretend pandemics aren't real. No, I'm kidding.
Just in case you haven't got enough hate in the comments, let's just throw this on the fire.
No, wow. I'm sure it's all safe. I'm only kidding. It's just because I'm salty because I want to go play a tournament and we can't.
Very much. So
one
more event last year. Yeah. Drukhari seemed to be at the top.
Drukhari seemed to be at the top a lot. Except for that one event. That one event with Imperial Knights at the top.
So you've got 5 events there.
Yes.
Right? And out of 5 events, Drukhari are at the top for 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's only 5 instances in all of that data of Drukhari being in the top 5. So at one event, they were there twice.
Yeah.
So to me, this doesn't say this codex is broken, which is what Liam obviously sort of put through with this thing. It's this codex is really good, and if you are the kind of player that is on it and really knows your stuff, you're going to do very well with it. That's what this
100%. 100%. Yeah. So I think we should pull up the lists and see if there's many similarities, see if there's any tactics or a particular aspect of the Drukhari list that people are using. I imagine it includes a funky succubus, because they are very good.
I'd say that's probably in at least 4 of those 5 lists. But do you want to go? I don't know if you know much about the codex, but I can't remember all of the intricacies of that succubus. But it's basically a succubus that tries to miss you so that she can hit you twice every time she misses. And get this incredible number of attacks. Yeah. And there's some bullshit that kind of goes alongside it, where if you read the rules in a certain way with a bit of a slanty eye and it's a little bit dark, it works really, really obscenely well. And if you don't, it works well. Yeah,
there's something with competitive edge, which is a warlord trait in the Cult of Strife supplement in the Book of Rust, which I can probably grab. Let me just grab that so I can get the actual wording. One sec.
Oh, mine's upstairs, otherwise I would. But yeah, there's all the guys in the chat that there's a little bit of like rules as written. It kind of says this, kind of says this if you read it a certain way. And if you're able to argue your point well enough, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's maybe likely to not stick around. And
Not in its current form.
That either says yes, this is exactly how we intend it, and that's just underlined it and done,
Mm-hmm.
or no, sorry guys, you've gone a bit far. We meant this. It could go either way.
Yeah, exactly. So the competitive edge says each time this warlord fights, if all of its attacks target one enemy unit, after resolving all of those attacks, it can make a number of additional attacks against the enemy. Thank you very much, DOWAG, for the resub. It can make an additional number of attacks against that enemy equal to the number of attacks that did not reach the inflict damage step of the attack sequence during that fight. So essentially, the way it's worded, because there's no limit to say these attacks do not generate extra attacks, essentially you roll to hit and wound, and anything that didn't roll to hit and wound, you roll again. And then anything that didn't roll to hit and wound then rolls again and again and again until you run out, until everything hits and wounds and does damage.
Right.
And then
infinite loop.
You basically get an infinite... It's not even an infinite loop. It's essentially whatever the succubus attacks, they just automatically do maximum damage. Because the fact that it never stops, as it's worded, the fact that if you've got 10 attacks that do 10 damage
after you roll saves, right?
Yeah. So if there's anything that didn't inflict damage and didn't make it, then you roll again. So it's like, it's a bit funky because if let's say a succubus, its maximum amount of damage is 20 wounds.
Yeah. Because
you constantly roll until they inflict damage, if not you roll again, you automatically essentially roll 20 wounds, because it doesn't matter what you roll, you will fail the save eventually. And this like ability allows you to generate an extra attack if nothing happened. You know?
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
So that's and that's one of the major issues with the Drakari Codex, which is like causing lots of arguments. But I don't think these lists will be relying on it. It's just a very good combo, you know. And especially if they
at the end of the day, when you win a GT or a major, it's not only because you found a little trick and exploited it. It's because you're really good and you managed to find a little trick.
Yeah, exactly.
Still got to be good.
Yeah.
And all the chat will have played somebody in their local group or similar that just took a net list and then piloted it into the ground. You know, it doesn't matter what your list is, you've still got to have the wherewithal to do it right.
So we should quickly have a look at some of these lists, see if there is many similarities. Yeah. Have you got BCP open?
I will try and find it. I believe I kept my subscription to it because I wanted to support them even when we had no tournaments. So let's find out if that's still being going.
Okay, I'm just trying to log in now.
That's my past events. I don't want that. Search events. Here we go.
Saying I've got invalid user credentials.
So long.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just search by name, location, name, event name? So let's look at Major City Mayhem, yeah?
Motor City Mayhem.
Motor City Mayhem.
Yeah, I'm trying to log into my account. For some reason, my phone automatically deletes apps. And now I've deleted it. I can't, it won't let me log back in.
24 for the 4th. That'll be the one.
Sounds about right.
Michigan.
There we go, I'm in.
Sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in. So if you look for that one, I will look for War of the Wooden Spoon.
I just noticed the one that the Night player won. There were 2 Drakari players at the bottom of the top 5. So
right.
That's interesting. So I don't know if you guys in the chat have used BCP much, other than just sort of putting your list on it to go to an event and wait to see who you're playing against and so on. If you go to placings, there's a lot of information you can find after a tournament. And if you look at Brad Chester's placing, he's got 5 wins. You can just about see it on screen there.
Yeah.
Everyone he played against had 3 wins, strength of schedule. But this stat here is really interesting. So what this is the battle point strength of schedule, the sum of all of the player's opponent's average battle point per game divided by the number of opponents the player has played. So he's played 5 players. So it's like the average score that 5 people got against him.
Yeah,
those are some high scoring losses. That shows that he was playing against opponents that were good.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were putting in some decent numbers.
I nearly dropped 29 points over the weekend, which is really good because obviously it's a maximum of 500 because you play 5 games.
That's right.
So really cool. Talk to me about the list, Jake. And also, this is BCP up. I can't remember what it's called. Best Coast Parents. I've not had to think about Best Coast Parents for a while.
So he got a patrol with Cabal of the Poison Tongue, Serpent's Kiss. We got Raiding Forces CP. So I'm assuming there's multiple patrols coming.
Yeah.
Prizes from the Dark City to get some extra loot. Succubus with Adrenalite Combat Drug. I'm not sure which one that is. Quicksilver Fighter. Tolerated Ambition and a Triptych.
Triptych.
Get a dyslexic guy to read this one out. Triptych Whip. Fuck it, whatever.
Triptych.
Agonizer and the Archite Glaive. So looks like she's got about 1 trillion different things there.
Yeah, Jack of Clubs Payton's just come in and said there's been talk about Brad's list because of because of Lotus Toxin not being on the main Warlord, but the TOs ruled it as legal. There's a weird loophole in some boulder tech in terms of books. I'm interested to see what that weird loophole is. Adrenal Light is each time this unit fights, if a charge move or heroic intervention move is performed, then until this is resolved, add 1 to the attack characteristics. So Adrenal Light gives you +1 attack. What else did it have? Quicksilver Fighter. I just want to make sure I've got all the wording correct. That's why I'm skipping.
Yeah, definitely.
Quicksilver Fighter.
Neither Mikey or I are Dark Eldar players, so.
Quicksilver Fighter gives +2 attacks.
+2 attacks.
+2 attacks on the charge, yeah.
Brilliant. Tolerated Ambition is a strat.
Ooh, interesting. Tolerated Ambition. I can't remember which one that one is now.
Battle Star says maybe fight first in engagement range. Possibly.
Which cult was it? Sorry. Poison Tongue.
The cult was Poison Tongue. Yeah.
Poison Tongue. Where the hell is that? I've lost it now. I just had it.
Okay.
Strife, Cursed Blade, Red Grief.
The whip is +3 attacks and damage 2. That Succubus has 12 attacks in the first round of combat, so it's going
the Triptych, which is really, really good.
That's batshit.
Crazy, right?
She's got as many attacks as a knight stamping on you.
Yeah, I'm just struggling.
And she's like 6'6" and weighs about 85 pounds. Jack Clapton's painting says it's because Cult of Strife Warlord is a full bolded term, so it's been ruled that is a Cult of Strife HQ with a Warlord trait rather than the capital W Warlord for main Warlord. Oh, God, that's some rules lawyering right there, isn't it? Tell you what, you keep looking.
Yeah,
but anyway, we've got the Succubus.
We've
got a couple of units of Cabalite Warriors, 2 units of Incubi, so you've got 4 units of 5 Dark Elder there, and then we've got some Scourges with Shredders all over, and a Shard Carbine on the boss, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Raiders with Dark Lances and Grizzly Trophies.
Okay, so Grizzly Trophies are a -2 leadership bubble within 3. And then Dark Lancers are obviously funky las cannons. Yeah,
very cool weaponry. Then we've got another patrol. This is the Cult of Strife and a Spectacle of Murder, so another witch cult. We've got a Succubus with Adrenalite again, plus Competitive Edge, Dark Lotus Toxin, Razor Flails, and Tolerated Ambition again. So it's a strat you can stack onto something.
Interesting.
We've got some witches with random combat drugs, another one with random combat drugs as well. They both look to be 8, 9, 10 witch units. Agonizer with more veins Agonizer, so maybe that's an upgrade. on the Hecatrix, and the stratagem Hecatrix of the Crucible, which I'm guessing is a bit like having the sort of not quite relics that you can give to a sergeant, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just really struggling to find his tolerated ambition. I feel really daft. Oh, there it is. Found it. It gives him an extra warlord trait. Okay. I knew it was something stupid like that. I just wanted to make sure I read it properly.
Superstar, thank you.
How's it going? How's it going?
And then we've got Hecatari blades on the witches, and one in each unit with Shardnet and an Impaler. So not bad. Then we've got 2 units of Mandrakes, and then 2 units of Hellions, both obtained with random combat drugs. Hellglaive, Splinter Pods, the usual.
Yeah.
Then another patrol is a custom Coven Dark Technomancers with Drazar. Clever. I forgot you could use him as an HQ.
Yeah, because Drazar's like essentially like a free agent in terms of like HQ, so you can take like any type of detachment and have him as the HQ for the patrol without causing any issues to abilities for that army or detachment, which is really interesting.
That's tasty. Drazar is the warlord. Hatred Eternal.
Interesting.
You got 3 units of Rax and then another unit of Incubi. So it's 3 units of Incubi, 3 units of Rax, several small units of Cavalite Warriors and stuff. All the transports.
Lots of transports, yeah.
The first one with the Poison Tongue, Serpent's Kiss on there as well. So that's
so interesting. So interestingly enough, the Dark Lotus Toxin, which was the first thing that came up, the intricacy of shenanigans, let's call it. So that is add 1 strength and damage to all melee weapons except for relics, which is really good because that it's the first HQ of the Succubus that's getting +3 attacks. It's getting +3 attacks because of Adrenal Light and what was the other one? The Warlord trait.
Competitive evade.
Not competitive. It's the first one in the list.
Quicksilver Fighter. Yeah. But the first one doesn't have the relic you're talking about.
All right. Okay.
So the first got Adrenalite, Quicksilver Fighter,
Interesting.
Tolerated Ambition, and a Triptych Whip.
Suppose, yeah, because that's a relic. Because the Triptych Whip gives you +3 attacks. It's a really interesting relic because you don't have to allocate those attacks with the whip. Because the wording of it is, this is a really fun. The thing is with Jakari, which I'm going to go over afterwards. The thing is with it, it's really funky, like in the way that things have like played out. So the whip says, poison 2+, each time the bearer is selected to fight, add 3 to their attack characteristic until the end of the phase. So if you're holding the whip, then you just get +3 attacks. You don't have to use it, it's just there.
Nice.
Because it adds to your characteristic. It doesn't say you can make 3 attacks with this weapon. It says you get +3 to your attack characteristic. So, however, the Dark Lotus Toxin, which is on the other Succubus then, my apologies, is +1 strength and damage to all weapons except for relics. But the little blurb at the top of the relics for Cult of Strife says, if your army is led by a bold Cult of Strife warlord, you can, etc., etc. Which I don't think the army actually is it? I think it's led by Drazar.
It's led by Drazar,
who is not a Cult of Strife warlord. But Brad has...
He's definitely not even in the Cult of Strife attachment either. So you couldn't even count as that even if you had the right keywords, right?
Yeah, but if Brad has a Cult of Strife warlord because he's used Tolerated Ambition to generate a warlord trait for a Cult of Strife character, is that correct? I think
that's
that is so funky. That is so funky.
To me, that's like
it's wrong.
Somebody
but they've said it
and they got off on a technicality.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think that's list is incorrect. But if the TO's okayed it, the TO's okayed it. I'm not going to say going to say anything negative towards Brad. I mean, he's read it. He might have read it in a you need a Cult of Strife warlord. Cool, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything nefarious going on. There might have been. I don't know. But I'm not going to say. At the end of the day, the TO's ruled it, so that's their event, not mine.
Totally. And that goes both ways as well. Sometimes when you're a TO, you rule something and you've gone one way or the other, and either way, like yes or no, could have been the wrong way. But whatever happens at that point onwards for that event, that's the rule.
Yeah, that's how it works.
You take over the rule book and you become GW, and you say, no, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So if a TO wants to arrange at my events for my Knights Be Toughness 9, will sort you out.
Yeah, exactly. What was that? Drazar can't get a warlord trait with ambition. Drazar is just the warlord. Everyone else has got a warlord trait with ambition.
That's the only way to get his warlord trait, which is something like reroll attacks and wounds or something.
Yeah. Bot isn't working with shoutouts. That sucks. It should be working. Just test a random command. I've seen it posting. But yeah, it's interesting. Very interesting list. Again, it's got a lot of shenanigans in there. Again, but it's got lots of leadership debuffs, which is nice. It's got lots of raiders with dart lancers, which are super cheap and with essentially a las cannon on the front. The thing is with Drakari, which what I'm noticing is they, as always, are vehicle spammy with lots of little troops. They have lots of minimum units, and then they have lots and lots of vehicles to go with them. But the meta, until this point, has been anti-marine, which is just anti-infantry. Heavy infantry.
Anti-elite infantry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need minus a couple on your AP, you need damage 2 at least, and you need at least strength 5 or strength 6, ideally, to wound on 3s.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
whereas that doesn't deal with vehicles very well. But it doesn't have the rate.
Well, it deals with things like Venoms, okay, but of course these aren't Venoms, are they?
These are Raiders. Yeah, these are Raiders.
Durable. And they don't give up all the points for
Big Game Hunt. Bring it down, yeah. Not Big Game Hunter, that's the old one. But bring it down, yeah, because they have like, what, 1 point?
Well, you got, aren't they 10 wounds? So each one's only worth 2, so you can get 10 out of that list, right?
Yeah. Which is what it's good for, because it's an anti-secondary list, you know? Because there's no secondaries that get really... list. Yeah, it's a denial list, but also, in return, whilst people don't have enough anti-tank and anti-MSU to deal with all of it, the Drakari do, because they've got loads of poison and they've got loads of dart lancers.
Thinking about it, we just said that this was a denial list, and on second thoughts, I'm not entirely sure that there's such a thing in Ninth, because whilst that list has reduced the amount of dead easy no-brainer secondaries, which are usually the killer ones. Your opponent's list, you go, I want to kill all this shit, he's got these things, I'll take these secondaries.
Yeah.
Then it removes all of those, which means your opponent is down to their like positional secondaries, right? Or like the psychic ones, you know, that kind of thing. And judging by the fact his opponents scored an average of 74 points, which is still a really good loss.
Very good, yeah.
Like an average loss, I'd say 60 to 65 points.
Isn't the strength of schedule what they've scored on average against all their opponents?
Right. Well, no, the strength schedule is the sum of their opponents, is the average of their opponents' battle points per round, yeah? So battle points, strength schedule, the sum of all of the player's opponents' average battle points per game divided by the number of opponents the player has played.
I thought it was the average they scored in the rest of their games. I didn't realize
because that would be 471 divided by 5, which is not that.
No, I mean the opponents. I thought strength of schedule was all of the opponents' games, so 25 games divided by 25, and it is an average. I thought that's how strength of schedule worked.
It was
some of
his
all of a player's opponent's average.
So take a player as Brad.
Yeah.
So all players' opponents' average battles divided by the number of opponents. No, it's divided by the number of the opponents the player has played. So it's divided by the number of opponents that he's played.
Right. Okay.
So that is the average score that his opponents have had against him in those games. Which means that whilst his list denies the obvious kill ones, like you're not going to get assassinate maxed, you're not going to get bring it down maxed, you know, there's a few others that you can't get maxed. Then you've got these positional plays left, and those are the ones that every list should be thinking about when they're being written. Can I do these if I need to? If the opportunity presents, am I going to get 15 out of, say, raised banners?
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a quick catch up with the chat before we go into the next list. I feel like we're probably going to be dedicating the show to this.
Could be. I'll tell you what. Why don't we break up between each Drakari tournament with maybe something else if you've got something else you want to chat about, and that way it keeps it varied.
Yeah. Well, let's have a quick catch up with what everyone's saying. because I don't want people's opinions, because everyone's got very valid opinions. I want to make sure I don't miss any.
Yeah.
Is this a regular thing as a painted ladies play? Are these grey areas open to interpretation, commonplace? From Flickster. Hi Flickster, hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, bro.
Yes and no. At the top tables, like things like this do happen quite a lot because people are trying to squeeze every efficient point out of every unit. And whilst I said that like this is wrong, we've had lots of times and lots of people have analysed the list because it's like, oh, it's Dracaria winning. Let's get like 500 people looking at this list now. Oh wait, there's a mistake. Whereas if one person's writing a list, sometimes it is a bit dodgy. Sometimes people are nefarious, but people aren't always nefarious. A lot of it, sometimes it's just misreading and getting excited, you know? So, but
I think part of it is the fact that sometimes a rule is written and there's because in 40k, context is everything in the rules. Like whether somebody's got a capital letter or not actually really matters, and that's a very easy typo.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether something's in bold or not really matters, and that's another easy typo. And this is something I find unfortunate. A lot of people, due to the fact that there's occasionally been a mistake from Games Workshop, not super often, considering the amount of rules and data sheets they put out, it's very low single figures and below percent. You get this thing that's like, well, because this is written this way, I can do X, and then you get this rule of intent, and you've done a video on that, I'm pretty sure.
I have, yeah. We've done a whole video on like intent, rules as written versus rules as intended.
It's tricky. How can you know the intent of a group of lads sat in a room writing rules? You can't. You
exactly, yeah. And the problem is you don't have like a live chat where you can go ask.
That's right.
So we're just relying on.
To be honest, can you imagine?
Oh, it'd be a big job that. Pay well though. It'd have to be because people would quit every day.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah. But you can ask the Warhammer community team rules because they never get anything wrong on their website.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's fucking wrong on that website. Jesus Christ. I'm
still waiting on my Curse City, by the way.
Everyone is. That product that's going to be part of the main line, don't forget. Oh, and the Pariah Nexus, which is coming with the full kill team rules. Never forget. I'm just quickly catching up. A lot of people. If this list turned out to be good, is it worth me purchasing units to build the list, or as a beginner, does it really matter if the list is competitive? The thing is, with writing lists for being a beginner, it's all about just trying to understand synergies across units. That's where most lists as a beginner fail. It's because you've got lots of units that are cool but don't work well together. Whereas a competitive list has lots of synergy where lots of units interact with each other, and that's what makes a list competitive. So if you are thinking about starting Dracaria, I wouldn't suggest going out and buying the best list you can find because you won't know how to use it. What I suggest is finding a couple of units that are cool and then finding units that work with those as well and building from there. Yeah. But also looking at competitive lists.
40k list as like a martial artist that's been training for many years. You know, their one thing is this all come together to be this like perfect organism, right? If you've just started martial arts, you're going to be the guy trying not to fall over when you kick. So you need to build up both a mental sort of skill level to be able to play the game at that level, make all the right decisions at the right time, and so on. And just get your training and just get your reps in. Otherwise, you'll forget stuff. You won't understand what to do when, and then eventually you'll get that moment where it clicks. But it takes some time.
Yeah, exactly. There's another question as well. I think it was Gaz. Hi, Gaz. Hope you're well. That list is legal. Just checked. And you can't take a succubus in a Cabal detachment. And I think you can, I'm afraid, because Dracaria also have some weird shenanigans as well. And that's, again, the thing with Dracaria. They're just slightly different. Just ever so slightly different in every aspect.
They didn't have a Cabal detachment.
So it says, if your army is battle-forged, each Dracaria detachment in your army must be designated a Cabal detachment, witch cult detachment, or homunculus detachment, or real space raid. But you can only have one. If every detachment in your army is Dracaria, then all command point costs are reduced to 0, so they don't cost anything for, Actually, Drakari gain 2 CP at the start of the game because all their patrols are 0, but it doesn't remove the command benefit of gaining 2 CP for having your warlord in a patrol. So they actually always start with 14 compared to everyone else who's on 12, which I think, which I also think's an oversight.
Yeah. That one flew out under the radar, and somebody basically at head office was like, "Wait, we need to change that as well."
Yeah. But what's interesting is that in most detachments in 40k, especially the new ones, if you mix different chapters or factions or sub-factions or anything like that, then no one gets it. No one gets any benefit. Whereas in the Drakari Codex, doesn't matter if you mix, you just declare which type of detachment you want it to be, and all those units gain the right rules. So it says all Cabal units gain a Drakari obsession, etc. So
you can have a Cabal detachment.
Yes.
Put in a non-Cabal unit or HQ,
Correct.
and just the non-Cabal stuff gains nothing. The non-Cabal stuff gets nothing. The other stuff that is Cabal gets everything.
Correct. Yeah, which is very different to any other way faction building is in any other army. Drakari is very unique in that way, which is nice, but also it's open to a lot of abuse. But I mean, that's competitive 40k. Everyone, welcome. It's full of abuse, and everyone just takes it.
If this is news to you and you're thinking, my God, what savages play the game this way, top tier tournament play is probably not your thing.
Yeah. Hey, Forgebreaker, thank you very much for gifting the sub to I'll print you on. Hell yeah. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much.
How you doing, bro? When is meme review?
You're getting banned from meme review. Take that.
That's Have you seen his meme?
Yes. That's why the real space raid works. It doesn't allow you to take anything that a patrol doesn't, but gives you the benefits. Yeah, exactly. That's very different though, because this is to do with multiple patrols, not including a real space raid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Fenrir
a couple of
says
oversights there, obviously.
Fenrir says I think it's because of things like Incubi and Scourges, which aren't any of the 3, which makes sense. But yeah, interesting.
Blank,
yeah. So let's have a look at the next list. So this one is from War of the Wooden Spoon, which was won by... let me just find their name once again. War of the Wooden Spoon. This was won by Connor McCormick. He won 5 games. He scored 487 points overall. He's got Dark Technomancist.
13 points in 5 games.
Yeah, 13 points. 99, 97, 100, 95, and 96. Really, really high scorers.
Wait, was that 5 games or 6 games?
5 games.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. He's got Drazar. He's got Racks with Liquefiers. Racks with Liquefiers are super popular as well. He's got some Incubi. He's got some Mandrakes. He's got a Archon with a Helm of Spite for some denial. He's got another 10 Incubi. He's got 5 Raiders, all with Dark Lancers, Grizzly Trophies, and Blade Veins. So Blade Veins give him 6 attacks on the charge as well, which is really good. And then he's got Cult of Strife. He's got Succubus. Here we go. Do you want to hear a cool story about this Succubus?
Tell me a story all about how.
It's got Adrenalite. It's got Quicksilver Fighter. It's got the Triptych Whip. And it's got an Agonizer and Archaic Glaive. And the other one... Yeah, the other one has Adrenal Light as a combat drug. It has Competitive Edge, which is the crazy warlord trait where you keep attacking until you get bored. It's got the Dark Lotus Toxin, which is the +1 strength for damage. It's got Razor Flails as well.
That's not all.
It also has...
Top as well. So it's Show Stealer from the Cult of Strife.
Yes, Show Stealer. Let's look at Show Stealer. I can't remember what that one is now. Show Stealer. Which one's Show Stealer? Oh, Show Stealer is just it's a Super Succubus, basically.
Okay.
It's an upgraded Succubus, a Show Stealer. So it says each time this model makes a consolidation move, it can move an additional 3 inch and does not have to finish closer to the closest enemy model. So it moves anywhere 6 inches.
That's such a bastard thing.
Nasty, very nasty.
So you run in, you attack, you do a damage, you consolidate, you just walk off.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Drops mic, disappears.
Bye. That, or it just tags anything it wants to and jumps over you. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also, they've got some Hecatrix Blood Brides, which are the upgraded witches. Which are very popular once again, because witches and racks with liquefiers are like, and a succubus are like staple Drakari units we're seeing.
Right now, yeah, racks with liquefiers are a good one because they can take 2 per unit now with the
yeah, because essentially
the
essentially the leader of the squad can take a liquefier, and then you can take a second liquefier. And the reason liquefiers are so good, let me tell you the profile. And bearing in mind this is on troop units, which are T4 with an invuln. The liquefier is D6, strength 4, -2, 1 damage that automatically hits at rate. It's basically a flamer that's -2.
It's not just that though, is it? Sorry, I thought I interrupted you, so I was going to let you carry on.
No, I was waiting for you.
It's Dark Technomancers. That's what does it. Because Dark Technomancers, people will remember the name Dark Technomancers from the Book of the Phoenix, the first Psychic Awakening one.
Yeah.
Where you ended up with Gets Hot, and anytime you rolled a 1 to wound, you took a mortal wound.
Mm-hmm.
And what they've done now is they've changed Dark Technomancers from that you got in the Book of the Phoenix to any rolls of a 1 to hit. Now, is there anything interesting to bear in mind with that bit of information about flamer weaponry?
Yes. So obviously, because you're not rolling to hit, you never suffer damage. So essentially, you get until the end of the phase, each time an attack made with that enhanced weapon, add 1 to the wound roll and +1 damage.
Yeah.
So you get +1 to wound, +1 damage. So it's damage 2, wounding most things on 4s or 3s. Sometimes 5s at a push. And then that's it.
Against knights. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. 5s against knights. That's it. And they're super cheap. They're super cheap. Like, how many points is that unit? Not very expensive, right?
60, right?
I think it's about 6. Let me have a look. 60 with 2 liquefiers.
There you go.
Put in a raider, and they can shoot out of the raider. And because you're in a raider, and since all measurements now for Dark Eldar vehicles are from the hull, you got that shock prow on the end. You can shoot your 2 little liquefiers from the shock prow. That's a big range. It's a really big range.
It's not bad. And they're quick moving as well. You know, they go through elite infantry, and that's what we were saying about earlier on. Is the kind of current meta is it has been elite infantry, which means you end up with a lot of Marines. Marines are usually 2 wounds. They survive on a good power armor save and a decent toughness value.
Yeah.
And this suddenly makes a mockery of a lot of that.
Exactly, because it's flat damage 2, killing, winning on 3s with -2 AP. So what we're seeing is, like, Dark Eldar, I'm not going to go through every single list, I will be here all night. The thing is with Dark Eldar is what we're seeing is that there's a lot of familiar units, racks, witches, succubus, which are very, very, very good at killing what was currently good in the meta, Space Marines or Death Guard, for example. You know, even with flat damage 2, they just get so many attacks with high AP that it doesn't matter that you reduce damage by 1. Just take another save, bro. You know. So it's quite interesting, but the problem is like, does this mean that Drakari are broken, or does this mean people haven't adjusted? Now, it was quite interesting that the Falcon from 40kstats.com said that Drakari have a roughly a 75% win rate. That is...
And that's since the new book came out as well. And just think about the number of tournament games that may have happened in that small amount of time.
Yes, but 75% is just like... But that's the thing. It's like people are playing, they're building to play against Marines. Are they building to play against Drakari? And it's like, no. These are the first real events that Drakari have been in, you know, since it came out. It's been out, what, a month? And there's only events happening in certain countries. They're not happening everywhere. And these are like... These look like really erroneous results, but It's just the fact that I don't think people are preparing for Drakari. They're just like, oh well, they're new. Who cares?
Yeah, it might be that. It might be that you know how sometimes you hear something like, yeah, sure, that sounds great, and it's not till you see it, you're like, wow, okay, now I understand.
Yeah,
now I get it.
Yeah,
it might just be some of that.
It's just, I think this weekend has shown that maybe Drakari maybe people aren't ready for Drakari. Maybe they need a couple more weeks to prepare. I think I might be proven wrong. No one might be able to beat Drakari ever again. However, I think that people, obviously, some of the best players, like Brad Chester, one of the best players in the world, he came third in LVL last year, I think.
Couldn't tell you.
Playing Raven Guard against, he lost to Richard Siegler, who actually won it in the top 8 knockout. I remember that much.
You mean a year before? Yeah.
That was last year. Because this year there wasn't one. And last year I went.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I was there.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Brad whilst it was happening, So what it seems like is that the best players have noticed that Drakari are really finicky. There's a lot going on with them, which is very different to what people are used to. It seems like Death Guard and Marines kind of set precedent of what was good, and then Drakari are like, we're anti-meta, which is exactly what they did in 8th edition.
Yeah.
Everyone was spamming vehicles, and then Drakari were like, hello, I've got a haywire gun, bye.
This is called a Talos.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a Talos, Talos were pretty brutal at the time. They got really bad towards the end, because everyone else got good around them. But they were pretty brutal when they came out.
They were nails. Yeah.
Yeah. But, it just seems like no one's ready for them. There is one more, the one about Flyby or something that I wanted to look at, because a lot of people are moaning about that stratagem. I just can't remember what it does.
Okay. You have a look at that. I've got a random sort of question to go alongside this, which is that, do you think that Drakari, then, based on the fact we're seeing a lot of high results with Drakari, but not high volume of players with Drakari, do you think that they are kind of the new Genestealer Cult, which in 8th edition were very much the boogeyman of competitive 40k, because you had to have a high level of knowledge and skill to be able to play it well.
Yeah.
But also, when you played it well, that was it. You were probably gonna smash somebody in.
I think at the minute, yeah, but I don't think Drakari are super complex to play. I just think they've got a lot of intricacy in the book that makes them very strong. I wouldn't say they're like with Genestealer Cults, they had a hell of a lot going on. They were
thing to play them.
Yeah, they were a crazy army just because they did so many things. But I just think that with Drakari, they've just got a lot of combos in certain units that make them really good. But it's quite intricate to get them to work, and you've got to make sure you put them into the right unit. I'm not saying that they're easy to play. I'm just saying I don't think their complexity is quite as high as what Genestealer Cult were back in the heyday.
That's fair. One thing I will say is a similarity, though, is that both of them stand up as well to a strong wind as a wet bag of paper.
Yeah, exactly. You fail a couple of saves, that's it. You lose a boat,
Well, it's more that you move this unit 1 inch too far or 1 inch not far enough. Then that's it. You've lost your flank, perhaps.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what Arkham Castles has said in the chat. He said Drakari are good if the player is good, from what I've been gathering, and I think that's probably right. That's
pretty much, if I recall correctly, what I said when we started talking about these results. So, cheers, Brett.
Yeah, exactly. So, eviscerating Flyby has been coming up quite a lot as well, because it's essentially when you make a move with a Witch Cult unit or advance, after it's used, select one enemy unit that this unit has moved across and roll 1d6 for each one on this unit, adding 1 to the result if it's an enemy infantry unit. On a 5+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. If it's a big strategy, if it's a big unit, it costs 2 CP. But it's for any Witch Cult flying unit. Now, what's interesting with this one is that there's no cap of how many in the unit there is and how many more wounds you can cause, which is quite, again, I think maybe a little bit of an oversight of how good that stratagem is.
Oh, I've got another one on that then.
Well,
you know how you often get a lot of strats like this. Something happens to a unit and you inflict a number of mortal wounds on X amount. Normally it says unless it's a character.
Yeah.
And this doesn't.
Yeah.
And so you can just snipe characters.
Yeah. Is it for... Let me just double check. I think I've read it right. You roll for the amount of models in the... I think it's the amount of models you have, right?
I thought it was the amount of models you had as well. So the amount of the amount of Drukhari models that fly over the thing.
Yeah.
Well, even if it's not the amount of Drukhari models that fly over the thing. It's the amount of models in Drukhari unit if the unit flies over a thing.
Yeah, exactly. So one guy flies over, then they all do mortal wounds to it. A lot of the mortal wound stratagem shenanigans that you have in the Death Guard Codex are limited to 3. So it's like you roll this, and it does mortal wounds on a 4 to a maximum of 3.
Yeah.
Salamanders had a flamer stratagem that did the same, which was then limited to 3, whereas Drukhari don't have that limit, which is quite interesting.
Yeah.
And as Dark and Castle says, one model flies over 20 in the unit, roll 20 d6, you do 10 mortal wounds on average.
Yeah. So there's
really
no
good.
infantry character in the game that can take that reliably.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It should. I'm surprised it's not like up to a roll amount of d6 for every model in this unit to a maximum of 1 model in the enemy unit. You know? So if there's like 10 in the enemy unit, you roll 10. If there's 1, you roll 1. Which is a lot of other strategies. That's how the Void Raven Bomber used to work, for sure. I don't know what it is now, but it's not too relevant. But
well, yeah, that's because it's got the old mortal wounds roll, I guess.
Let's have a look. It just seems a little bit wrong, you know?
It seems out of key. We'll definitely say that.
Out of key is a good way to put it, I think.
One person goes over, and then my entire unit just gets to give you a good shoe-in.
Yeah.
It doesn't even seem fluffy either. And I don't really care about the fluff as soon as the army hits the tabletop. It should be secondary. There should be things that drive the crunch, and that should be in part the fluff. But still, I don't like it when something really breaks the feeling of the game.
Yeah. Here you go. So the Void Mines have changed. I think they're probably better now, but roll once per battle. It's once per battle, though. This isn't once per battle, this strat. After you make a normal move, you select a point on the battlefield that you've moved across. Roll 1d6 for each unit within 6, subtracting 1 if it has the character keyword, unless it's a vehicle or monster.
Yeah.
On a 4+, you take d6 mortal wounds.
Okay. Question about that stratagem then, that eviscerated flyby. Is that in the movement phase?
Yes.
Oh, thank God for that.
Why's that?
I was just thinking, you fly over something in the movement phase, you get the fly over,
then charge over one.
charge over somebody else. You're like, fuck you all!
But Tom, your Admit Flyer, right? That has a similar ability to the old one. That's max 10, right? That's max 10 dice, and it's 4+, it's a mortal wound. Whereas this is just no limitation. It's just like, how many models you got, bro? Get some dice. And again, just like, oh, one dude you're flying over? Here's 20 mortal wounds, potentially. That's too much. So I think it's like little things like that, where it feels like that Drukhari have kind of like got some really good buffs, which I think they deserve. Maybe there's a couple of abilities that maybe need a maximum star next to it, you know? Like, maximum this many, you know? Or don't roll so many dice for this. Just here's a slight limitation. Because it feels like there's no ceiling for some of her abilities, you know?
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I like the unlimited potential and stuff like that.
Oh, it's cool. If you're playing Drukhari, it's cool AF, you know?
Well, yeah, but even just that, I think Drukhari, their sort of backstory is these people that have spent literally, potentially thousands of years perfecting something. You know? And so I kind of like it from that point of view, but you've got to temper the rules.
You got to balance the game, right?
Yeah.
You know, but I do stand by what I said. Even with these, let's call them shenanigans of being able to get so many mortal wounds for one stratagem, that's only really good on like one unit in the army. You know, it's not good on every unit. It's only
That's
good
true.
on Hellions and Reavers.
F2, so they're going to get to do that once.
Yeah.
Now, if you've managed to go from one point of cover where you're hidden with 20 of these guys to another cover where you're still hidden with 20 of these, then well done. You've played correctly. So.
Hey, I mean, you only need to fly over with one J. You can sit behind a wall and do a loop. Bam, 20 mortal wounds.
Oh, I hate that rule. Like, nothing else in the unit has moved, but this one guy's moved and the rest of them have kind of like wibbled on the spot.
Yeah.
I think that's utter shit.
And that's where they need to write the rules correctly for movement. So, does movement mean moving from one point to another and ending further away? Or does movement mean picking up my model, making it do a circle and putting it back down? Is that moved?
I'd say that.
What if I move?
Stationary.
Okay, what if it moves half an inch, but I've got 20 inches and I've moved forwards and moved back 10 inches? There's nothing in the game that says I can't do that, which is stupid. No, I agree. It's stupid. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Before anyone like clicks me and Mikey is a bastard. So, but for example, you could just have like one guy. Let's say you've got like a wall going across the board, and someone's entire army's on one side of the board. Like with the follow AOS, Andy. One guy's army's on one side of the wall, and you've got a unit of 19, and one guy who's just holding coherency, just flying by. You know, it'd just be daft.
Yeah.
But as I said,
feel right. But it is right.
That isn't. It doesn't feel right. It shouldn't be right, but it is. But going back to how good are Drukhari because they're winning every event and everyone's complaining that they're too strong. It's the first.
Even the Imperial Knight one, yeah, bro.
The thing is that people weren't ready for Drukhari hitting the scene. I think again, this is the first proper weekend that Drukhari have like played some real events by real players. Thank you much for the follow. So I don't think we should panic just yet. Again, there's probably a couple of fixes in there that need addressing, such as eviscerating flyby, for example, that just needs clarifying. Maybe, for example, you roll for every model that moved over the unit, not every model in your unit. For example, little things like that. I think we're on to a winner, and it'd still be a really strong codex that isn't too broken, you know? And that's what I think. So, the sky is not falling. It's just merely raiders coming down to kill you.
In the chat, Arkham Castles has said, just wait till I get to play at an event with them, the win rate will come down. So, single-handedly save us all from Drukhari.
Exactly, and as soon as Admech come out, that's it. Everyone's going to be crying with Drukhari anyway because they're just going to die to shooting.
They are going to die in seconds. They're like we said, you know, they don't have durability on their side, which is great. You shouldn't be able to do it all. And they've got that paper bag kind of style of toughness.
Yeah.
And Admech will shoot you from anywhere on the board, non-line of sight, and then as soon as you move out, I'll see you dead. Cognis Overwatch is going to be incredible.
It's going to be horrific, the Sonic Gav says.
So,
and there you go.
That.
Yeah. And there you go. That was a fun chat on Drukhari. I enjoyed that. What do you think, guys? Do you agree what we've said? Do you disagree? Let us know right now. I'm going to be reading the chat and catching up what everyone else is saying. Because I've been like skirting and looking what you guys have been saying, but I'm just going to have a quick run through.
What I like the most, we were talking about tournament results, and I so missed that.
What's that? Sorry.
So we were talking about tournament results, and I so missed that. That's the thing I enjoyed the most about that chat. Was talking about tournaments.
It was, yeah. We've not done that in a while.
Tournaments. Right now.
In your opinion, what's the weakest edition, 9th edition Codex? Probably Necrons now, sadly. Necrons are good, but I think they're probably like faltering behind the other ones.
I would probably say, actually, if we take Codex supplements as well, I'd probably say the weakest one is Space Wolves. I think Necron's still pretty beat out Space Wolves.
Yeah, probably. I was just probably thinking, I think Marines in general, because there's better chapters that you choose.
Yeah.
You'd go for Blood Angels or White Scars. But yeah, you could say Space Wolves if not.
I think if you're playing Space Wolves, you put Space Wolves on a table with Space Wolves units, rather than playing Space Marines with the Space Wolves chapter tactic.
Yeah.
Then Necrons are probably a stronger army overall, because they just take the board and the Wolves are like, great, yeah, we hit on 2s, and
Whereas a Blood Angel goes, I still hit on 3s, but I'm going to re-roll it all and beat this guy to death.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
everyone's talking about Dark Tensomancer's probably going to get nerfed. I agree. They'll probably make you like roll a dice. You know, you're like, when you shoot this weapon, roll a dice. On a 1 you die.
Yeah.
Competitive list. This is from Deep Game Spain.
Way of dealing with it.
Yeah, exactly. How's a unit of 10 Reavers 90 points? Red Dog, it's not. It's not. It's 200.
Yeah.
No one's playing Reavers at 10 points. It's a misprint. DK Spain says competitive lists are not well equipped to deal with MSU right now, and Drakari can make really mean MSU. Once players adjust to deal with it, and every army can, Drakari won't be the best beast they are right now. Meta suits them perfectly. Yeah, exactly. They're just crashing the meta like they did last time. You know, that's what I see it as.
Yeah. I think that's a accurate overview of it as well.
Yeah, exactly. They flump the meta because everyone's used to playing against Space Marines. They're not Space Marines, so everyone's panicking.
Yeah.
So
one bit of feedback I have heard about a lot of the events over the weekend, and because my weekend was somewhat chaotic, I didn't really get a chance to look at it until a little bit today. So I sort of picked up bits in various chats that I'm in. People have said this is the first army that's been released in Ninth with really effective transports.
yeah,
and so obviously what you've got to do now is you've got to open the can and then deal with what's in the can, and you've got to do all of those two things in the same turn. And that's something else that people aren't used to trying to get their head around.
Everyone's used to killing infantry. You know,
Exactly.
Heavy infantry, as we said, elite infantry.
You get maybe 2 impulses in a marine army, and that's the only transport you see on the table these days.
Yeah. Red Dog, go
Not to see
to Wargaming Community FAQ. There was a misprint. Essentially, the Drakari Codex points were previewed early. They came out early, along with everyone else's points upgrade in January.
Yeah.
Was it? I think it was January. And the Reavers were 10 points, and then they got FAQ to 20, and then in the Codex, all the points were exactly the same, but Reavers were still 10. So clearly there was a misprint. They've adjusted them back to 20, but because the Codex was already printed at that point, they can't adjust it. So yeah, so if you check out the FAQ, like you'll see that all the Drakari points are exactly the same as the Codex, barring the Reaver, which was 10 points. So
There you go.
So if anyone tries to play him at 10 points, don't play that person. Because they know it's wrong.
Well, unless they don't. Because I appreciate the game is occasionally hard to keep up with the FAQs and stuff. So just check, especially if we go into an event.
It was talking about
for
tournaments, for sure.
And on, you know.
Yeah. What time is your I'll print you one's lesson? Jay.
Brilliant.
I like how you ask if just it's 8:30. There you go.
We'd still be streaming, and my calendar's not open at that time.
Okay. So we got some more interesting competitive news. We're talking about competitive 40k. Look at us, Jay. Aren't we good? It's the Monday 40k show. Here we are.
I reckon we should do a podcast on competitive 40k. No, we shouldn't. That didn't go down so well.
No. But it is Monday. It's the competitive 40k show. If you're watching right now on YouTube, click like. You know, you sat there. We've got 23 likes. It's 165 of you. You could click like right now. That'd be really epic. If you're watching on Twitch, then exclamation point host, please, and get it, sort us out, you know. Host the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. That really helps us out as well. Because we're about to talk about more data because we know you love data. You know?
And also, if we get to 123 likes exactly for the meme, Mikey will shave his beard.
Wait a minute. No, I won't.
Trust me, bro. It needs a trim.
Thank you very much for the host, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you very, very cool. Very cool. Again, click like. Click like. We're at 40. Let's get it to 80. No, let's get to 69. 69. Let's go. Let's go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
We love 69.
Who doesn't?
It's like 69 or 69 420. It's up to you. Funny sex number in the chat. Let's see him. Okay. Thank you very much for the host, everyone. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, great, guys. Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about some ITC battles results. Thank you again, Dots and Dares. Really appreciate it. 124.
That last chat was obviously very useful to anyone that's a Drukhari player or knows some Drukhari players or is going to go to tournaments. But this is something that's useful to everybody.
Yeah.
Because what we're going to talk about now is literally all of the secondaries in the game.
Every single one.
And why maybe you should take them or think about taking them.
Barring Dark Eldar, I think.
Yeah, because no one wants to take Dark Eldar. We already established that
we just talked about them. So we're going to talk about ITC battles. So there's some been interesting data. It was shared by the Normal Blokes podcast, but it is by ITC Battles. So ITC Battles is an app which is used for scoring games. You can use it as like a digital score sheet, essentially. Now, they've taken the data of all practice and all tournament games and plotted it on a cool graph. But they've also taken the average points scored by each secondary in the game. And I think the results may surprise you, especially number 7, so stick around. Let's have a look. Here we have a graph of practice and tournament games of a chance to win versus how many points are scored. So what we see, we've got points scored across the bottom, and the average time, like the chance to win when you score those points, like how many people have won, like the average going up for how many points you scored. So essentially, the higher, bigger number, better person. Bigger number, more wins.
Did you say bigger is better?
No, I said bigger number, better person.
Liam would be loving this right now.
Bigger number, better person is on my wall. Where is it? It's behind here. I literally have it here. This is my reminder. Bigger number, better person. My little reminder. That's why you should like the stream right now. Bigger number. Thank you, everyone. So essentially, what's this showing is, again, we got tournament and practice games, and the average chance to win depending on how many points you scored in that game. Which is very interesting to see. As you can see, there has been some tournaments where people have won with less than 20 points, which means they've scored less than 10 plus 10 for painted, more than likely.
Well, I'm going to guess that they didn't get the painted score.
I mean, most tournaments just give you 10 points.
Mine doesn't. God, no. Right. Straight. Evil J. Harsh Taskmaster J.
Yeah, but how many people aren't going to paint an army to go to a tournament? Like, very few.
That's someone scoring with a win, I'd like to point out.
Yes, with a win.
They scored 4 points in that game. They scored no primary at all.
I mean, you just don't know, do you? Because ITC Battles automatically adds 10 points, I'm sure. Or maybe you do have to click a box to say you both painted.
Yeah.
Shall I have a look? I use my battle report data is in this graph, guys, by the way, because I use ITC Battles to film games.
That's true. That's very true.
So do you have to tick? Oh, you do have to tick if your army's battle ready. As you can see there, there's a little tick box.
There you go.
Which is interesting.
I wonder though, because here's something that might throw a spanner in the works of this data, right? And this might be why there are some wins on low points at the one end of the chat. When I'm at an event, I prefer to write stuff down. So I have a book. There's like a little notebook, and I make a quick table, and I write down all of my scores in the game and so on, what my opponents scored and so on. And the reason I do that is because I used to use the app, and it's great. It's really good because it tracks everything. It's like across all your games, it tells your average win rate, and it's great. Wonderful stuff. But I know it's very easy to press a button and remove something that shouldn't be removed. So I have a written guide where, because it's in pen, I can't rub it out or anything. I have to, and it shows mistakes and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wonder how many of these are people on the app and go, yeah, fuck, I've won. I haven't filled the app in for the last 3 turns. Yeah, but I've won. Great, we're done.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is going to be an element of it.
How many turns was that 14-point win? Oh, he fucked me in first turn. Yeah. I'm going out.
But you'd hope there's that much data in there that erroneous results like that wouldn't really affect it too much.
Definitely.
Because we don't know how many games are being plotted here, but we know there's at least more than 300.
Yes,
but
yes, we
more
have
likely closer to like a couple of thousand.
Yeah.
But
And
it's
well done to Josh DeBoer for his ITC Battles app, by the way.
It's fantastic. He's an absolute legend. We talk all the time. He's like sort some cool stuff out for the channel, which is very cool because it's basically take on lots of requests. I'm like, Josh, give me this, and he's like, here you go, and I'm like, you're a legend. It's quite funny because I was like, I want to do this. Like, there's just this random feature I want to do. He's like, yeah, no worries. And then 12 months later, he messaged me and said, hey, do you know that feature you wanted? It's here. I was like, thanks, Josh. You're a lad.
Amazing.
But what we also have is the secondaries, which are chosen across games. And you can see that this is essentially like the average points scored for each secondary, excluding Dark Eldar secondaries in the game. Now, there are some little stars to some of them. As you can see, for Space Marine Codex Warfare, there's a little star. This basically says that there are less than 300 data points for this secondary. Yeah. But Jay did the maths.
Basically.
Yeah, thank you for the follow, Calo Draco. You did the maths about roughly how many data points there should be knowing that information, right?
Yeah, so if you look at the Shadow Ops ones, obviously none of those have got asterisks next to them. And what I've kind of inferred from this is because all this data has been pulled from the ITC Battles app, that means that there's a minimum of 1,800 games where Shadow Ops have been used. One of those secondaries has been used.
Because obviously you can't take more than one.
Yeah.
So if every single one has 300 plus. Yeah. So we could say...
Warcraft with 1,200.
Yeah, so we're probably talking at least 1,200 games have been analysed for these results. We don't have the specific numbers. I'm sure I could ask, but I didn't have time. But it's quite interesting to see that, like, this data is available. Again, this was shared by the Normal Blokes podcast. They talked about it initially on the 21st. If you want to go check them out, then do. But again, it's public data from 9TC Battles. It's quite interesting. Where's everyone's favourite deploy scramblers? Where is it? I've lost deploy scramblers.
Battlefield Scramblers.
Oh yeah, there you go, scramblers. That's why. On average, it scores around 7 points, which is interesting.
So here's the thing, because I don't think that's as crazy as some people might think it be. Because you either score 10 points or you score no points.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you are a clever player, you'll play against somebody that you are sure that their army is likely to deploy scramblers. You can ensure that your deployment is such to make it hard for them. You screen it out.
Yeah, kill the units that can do it, for example.
You know, so I'm not too surprised that only scores 7. But what a lot of people I think might may not sort of realize is that Scramblers actually scores more on average than Raised Banners.
It does, yeah.
And Tom Lane's gonna love this stat. He's going to be so salty. Scrambler scores more points on average than Raised Banners, which is great. But remember, there's the potential for Scramblers scoring you no points.
Yeah. Oh, it's 5, not 7. I read it wrong. 5 points.
There you go.
Yeah, so it means half games aren't scoring it at all, basically.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much, Gronig. Really appreciate it.
300 games. In 150, they've scored 10 points.
In the other 150, they've scored 0. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because I was looking at Spread the Sickness, which is a lot higher, which is the highest one in there. Spread the Sickness is really good, though. It's banners that can't be negated, essentially.
But you do have to get to every single objective on a table.
I mean, yeah, but that's banners, right? You can't max.
No, because banners, you score a point and then you score.
I suppose if you did,
you just get points.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
For anyone who's looking at the graph and wondering what all the bars and stuff are, so you've got that long, sort of very tall capital I shape. That's the spread, basically. So if you look at Scramblers, it's a good one to look at. It goes from either 0 points to 10 points.
Yeah.
That's the data that they've got.
So if you see something like, for instance, Spread the Sickness, it looks like in no game ever that was recorded did they score less than 3 points.
Yeah.
Because as an objective in almost every deployment zone, you should be able to score at least 3 points on that.
Yeah, exactly. So because you do it on one objective, that's 3 points. Easy as that.
Yeah.
So the minimum you're going to score. There's no games when no one scored 0, which is not the same to say for every other objective. Which is funny.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I presume Scramblers is 0. Obviously, it's just off, but I don't think it's 0.1.
Yeah, again, I think if you look at the first one, Navigate Sites and Teleport Home, they have no end to the bottom eye.
Yeah.
The only reason why this could be that the data's like that is maybe it wasn't exactly 50-50, but they would change different averages and stuff. Also, something to bear in mind is that there are different ways of looking at an average, guys. So in maths, there's at least 3 different ways of getting an average. And so I'm assuming that this is a mean average.
Which would make the most sense. Again, it's not our data. We're just looking at it and saying what's interesting about it. So, but what is the highest scored secondary? I think it's Dark Angels. You know, Dark Angels, Death on the Wind. This one here. Don't think there's anything else that's higher. Let's have a look at that. So Dark Angels, Death on the Wind. Shall I have a look what the secondary is? I think it's Ravenwing Kill Stuff. Let me just grab it.
Well, here's the thing, because it's not Ravenwing, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it? It's not Ravenwing units, though, right?
Let me have a look.
Viking says, so Spread the Sickness is average 7. Nurgle's number is 7.
I did not spot that.
Amazing.
Brilliant. Oh, that's really good. It makes sense. Because you're going to get between 6 and 9, you know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Gotta find secondaries now, Jesus Christ. Side tangent. I hate Games Workshop for putting everything in different orders in every book.
Is it?
Yeah, there's no standard order for how they do things. For example, in the Necron book, the first thing... in the Death Guard book, the first thing is secondaries. In the Dark Angels book, it's the last thing before Crusade. Whereas in the Necrons, I think it's the last thing in the book.
And there's, yes, mean, median, and mode. 3 different ways of working out an average.
Yeah.
There are more.
So Death on the Wind is score 2 points every time. Score 2 points each time an enemy unit is destroyed by an attack made by a Ravenwing mod of your army that has moved 12 inches or more in the movement phase, or that made a charge move.
Yeah. Yeah. So play the game.
Play the game, and you get points. Stonks. Big stonkers. Yeah. So the average for that is what, 12 points?
I reckon that Deathwatch Suffer Not the Alien is going to start bouncing some higher scores, because that is
low boy. Low boy. Yeah, some really bad secondaries, like Fleeing Vectors is just a terrible secondary, and it's just no one's taking it. Is that the lowest? Is that the highest?
They're like, I still haven't.
Is that the highest and lowest next to it? It is. That is the highest and lowest secondary on the board, and they're both next to each other.
Yeah. And this is why. I sincerely believe this as well. This is why there should not be secondaries in codexes.
And
Let them be in there for Crusade.
And that's why I made a whole video about it once upon a time. Yes, faction secondaries should be banned. This is why. Yeah. Look, they are not balanced. There is data at less than 300 data points used.
Other Death Guard ones, you've got Fleeing Vectors.
Yeah.
Shit. You've got the Spread the Sickness.
Spread the Sickness, 7 points. Good. Not bad. Half.
Yeah, good.
Half of the maximum points. That's good. Despoiled Ground, which is probably around 7 as well.
Battlefield Supremacy is third one in from the right. I think fourth one from the right.
That one. Third one in from the right. That's about 7 as well. 6 or 7. So they're average.
They're average. Now let's look at the all of the Dark Angels.
Okay. Okay. Dark Angels. We've got Death on the Wind, which is the best secondary in the game.
Yeah. Which even beats out King Space Marines
Oath of Moment. It's the best one. Look, it's the biggest number. The better person is right there. It's Dark Angels, Death on the Wind.
Yeah. Then you've got Stubborn Defiance, which is almost
7.
Let's say it's tied for second in Battlefield Supremacy.
Yeah, it's ever so slightly lower than Relentless Assault, which is Blood Angels being the enemy deployment zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. Where's the other one?
Issues finding the other one. Sorry.
Dangles.
That's it. They only put only 2 of them have made it in. Right?
Is that because no one else takes the third one? What's the third one?
Well, I mean, Stubborn Defiance is basically stand on an objective every turn with a different OBSEC unit.
It's got to be the same OBSEC unit. But yeah.
Same OBSEC unit stands there and doesn't die.
It's in Purge the Enemy, the third one. Which has never been used. Martial Interdiction, choose a character and kill it, basically. Getting points.
Yeah, but how many points does that give you?
It depends how you do it. So, get different points. So that's not even on there.
That's right. Yeah. If the stars are mythically aligned, you'll get some good points.
Yeah, exactly. So that just shows you, look, if you just look at, like, there's just so many, like, that Death on the Wind is crazy high. Crazy high compared. What's the second highest? Bearing in mind that is on average 12 or 13 points. Like, I think the second highest must be priority targets.
Yeah.
That's like 9 points.
Another auto take
for that mission.
Secondary.
Yeah. But
look at the rest of the mission secondaries. Overrun, raise, surround them, utter shite.
Yeah. And for anyone who doesn't know, priority targets is choose 2 objectives. You both choose 1 each after you move them. Hold 1 of them for 3 points, hold 2 for 5. And you're just going to set on yours all game. That's 15 points on average.
Just put something in on the objective that's inevitably in or next to your deployment zone. Keep hold of it for the entire game. You've matched it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not hard. That's the no-brainer. Yes, I'll have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Both players going to use that.
You get for it. You know?
Yeah. What's the not including the mission ones? What's the second highest? Because the mission ones, at least both players are going to take them all the time. You know, because they're
like 8 points for Death Guard. Death Guard. No, Blood Angels Relentless Assault. It's a slant thing at the bottom. I think that's probably the next highest.
I did that as well. That's the first thing I did.
So it might be Oath of Moment. That looks about the same. It's just slightly harder to read the graph because there's taller values. Which means that if you're a Space Marine player, you take Oath of Moment and either you're playing Dark Angels, you take the other secondary there, or you're playing Blood Angels. That's the best Space Marine right now.
Yeah.
And you take your secondary.
And what does that show you?
That's advantage to Marines.
That's 3 secondaries which are from codexes, which are outright better in more cases than the other ones.
Yeah.
Does that not say something, everyone? Does that not say I was right all along? I think it does.
Well, I agree, because I think that there should be no time whatsoever where people are playing with different success parameters.
Mm-hmm.
You basically, I feel, should either be all playing exactly the same mission or playing variants of exactly the same mission. Mm-hmm. So having more than 3 secondaries, for instance, is good for the game. It gives you variety, but that's it.
Mm.
Does anyone remember when you had like the Maelstrom objective cards and things like that? There were some armies.
Yeah, Thousand Suns being one of them. Yeah, Thousand Suns cast 3 powers. Cast 3 powers, get 3 points, and every power you cast after that, you get another point up to a maximum of 9.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm casting 10 powers a turn, so. But what's that say? Like, let's look at the top 3. We've got Death on the Wind by Dark Angels, Be Ravenwing, and Kill Stuff. That's what they're doing anyway, right?
Yeah.
We've got Blood Angels, Relentless Assault. That is, have more of your units than your opponent has their units in your enemy's deployment zone. So basically, be in your opponent's half of the board. They're a combat army. Yeah, they're a combat army. That's what they do. You know, they are jump packs and deep strike. They charge the opponent. That's what they want to do. So it's an auto take. Out of moment, what's that? It's be in the middle of the board, where there's usually an objective. Don't fall back.
Kill something big.
Don't fail morale and kill something big.
Yeah.
Space Marines reroll morale. They're probably going to be in the middle of the board because there's probably an objective there if you're taking this objective. If not, don't take it.
I thought they just didn't take combat attrition.
Oh yeah, my apologies. Yeah, they ignore combat attrition modifiers. Okay, let's try again. What do Space Marines do? They have minimum size units and they're really high leadership.
Yeah.
That's what they have.
But if you take stuff, or you've got a chaplain nearby, which almost every Space Marine army will have a chaplain.
Yeah. And the one time you think you're going to fail it, because you've got Grizzly trophies surrounding you, and, you know, they've done all the other things, because Dark Hell are the best army in the game, supposedly. Then you just auto pass. 2 CP. Done.
Yeah.
There's 2 points. I'll spend 2 CP to get 2 points every time.
Yeah, because I don't give a damn how many CP I've got left in the game. What I care about is that my final score is higher than my opponent's.
Exactly. You know?
If you
spend... If you've got 12 command points and you spend 12 command points in one go and it scores you some points, those points are probably going to win you the game. You know, most cases. You know? You know? If I could say, right, I'm going to start with 0 command points, but I'm going to start with 12 points more than you before the game starts, I'd probably do that every time. You know?
Jeez,
Pardon?
Can I have that? Can I have that ability, please?
Exactly, because there's a lot of good Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good stratagems. Yeah, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of good stratagems, but the fact that I can spend CP to get myself more, you're probably going to do that every time, because they're the type of choices that win your games, you know? If I spend 2 CP now, what difference will that make to the end game? Not, oh, I'm going to spend a CP to be killier. Cool. That does make a difference later on, because your opponent has less models. But if there's one that's like, oh, I can't fall back, or if I fall back, I lose the game, I'll spend 2 CP to... sorry, if I fail morale, I lose the game, I'll spend 2 CP to auto pass. That's just like a win, you know?
I'll spend 2 CP to win the game is the way that's phrased, you know?
Yeah. Clearly says, Death on the Wind does allow you to do it as if you just move forward and back, right, slightly above board, and fine, rules intended probably isn't. That's what we spoke about earlier with the... with flyby rules and stuff like that.
Yeah, I just don't think that you should be able to like do that.
Yeah,
and end up back where you started exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And moved your distance.
For example, eviscerating flyby. What we were saying that, like, if you've got an enemy unit here, and this is my Hellion, can I move there then move back, and then use the stratagem? Because I moved over here. I moved in a circle.
Yeah,
which shouldn't be allowed, but you know. Rules as written probably does work, but shouldn't.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. If somebody tries to do that to me at an event, I am going to be the kind of prick that sits there and says, all right, that's full. That's cool. Remember, you can't move models through other models in the same unit. I'd like you to show me exactly how you're going to move every single one of those one at a time without moving through the rest of the unit, please. Because I think it's bollocks.
I was making dinner and couldn't hear too well, but that shows a lot of diagrams Professor Hellstorm dude. Yeah, exactly. If I had the green screen up, I probably would have done it that way. I might actually re-record it. That would be quite fun.
Yes,
you should. I have been thinking about doing some more Professor Hellstorm analysis. Yeah, I've got my board, my battle armor. We actually played a 1,000-point game the other day. So, but I need to round out this video before we carry on. It's clear rules abuse, and I play every week. Yeah, I think probably if people are trying to do that, it's a bit of a D move, but that's a problem with Warhammer. It's so ambiguous a lot of the time. That people will just... Pardon?
Sometimes. And sometimes as well, it depends very much on just how convincing somebody is when they say something. So recently was like, no, that's rubbish. So someone just explain it to you in a way that makes it sound like, how could you possibly have any other opinion other than this one? So therefore, it must be correct. You're like, I guess then. And sometimes that's the way it happens as well. So.
Yeah, exactly. But it's quite interesting. Again, faction secondaries are a big issue. Scramblers might be the best secondary in the book. That's not a Codex one. But it does just show you some disparity, which is going to be happening right up until everyone has a Codex, because they're not going to release secondaries early, unless they do like a weird campaign, but it still won't be fair. Because there's some armies that have access to 4 more secondaries, 5 more secondaries, you know? Especially Space Marines with their supplements, where you can take 1 from the supplement and then 1 from the Codex as well.
I think the only way to do it fairly across the board is basically to do what they did with Chapter Approved when we were transitioning from 7th to 8th, where in a Chapter Approved they went, look, you armies haven't got Warlord traits, you guys haven't got relics, so here's a quick rundown for all of you that are still waiting for your Codex, have some extra things. But the thing is, if they sort of put all of the faction secondaries into a book like Chapter Approved, which you're buying anyway as a competitive player, because you need to have the new updated secondaries and new updated missions, which are going to probably come out in July. Throwing out a guess there.
Probably.
Then you as a company, it's less. You've got less incentive as far as your bottom line goes to do that. And hopefully it just becomes one of those things. For the good of the game, here's what we've done. There you are. All of you can have some extra rules. And that's kind of all I got left on it, really, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. I think Gumbalina said it, like something about updated secondaries in Chapter Approved, which I think will come around. But I think the only way they can do it, to do it so it's fair, is that, like, as you said, everyone should get all of their secondaries at the same time.
Yeah.
And sadly, that's not very fun for FOMO and buying, impulse buying and stuff like that. Everyone getting everything at the same time doesn't sell well. Which is the problem with balancing, you know?
Yeah. One thing I will say, because obviously it feels like it's a very like pointing fingers and like a less positive aspect of the show. I was saying, like, you know, it's your fault at Games Workshop. You know, you've made these mistakes and so on. The guy that is sort of in charge of all of these is Mike Brandt. Mike Brandt, most competitive players will know, was the guy that basically created the Nova Open.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, created this method of playing the game. The ITC came from Nova and their way of playing it. And Mike is someone that I know is very much about fair play.
Yeah.
And he is someone also that likes numbers. He likes to have data on things. So he will have had exactly this kind of data, and possibly more, and possibly even more granular. And so things will change, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a slow process. The problem is we don't play a digital game where you just download a patch and everything's sorted.
Yeah.
Because you play a game where people want you to buy stuff, you know? And that is sadly the greatest and worst thing about the game we play, is that the whole point of it is to sell you stuff, you know? It's a fantastic game that's very deep, and I've met some wonderful people from it, and, you know, I'm very lucky to talk about it all the time. But the problem is with it is that the whole point of it is they want you to buy stuff, so they can't change stuff too fast, because what the issue that does is someone might go out and buy like a Succubus this weekend. Well, today they'll buy a Succubus because they're really good, and then tomorrow there's an FAQ saying you can't do anything with it now, it's dead. And it's like,
you buy a Succubus of Mikey's immense detailed description of what the Succubus does. You've already bought one. Well done.
Yeah.
FAQ next week.
And it gets FAQ next week, and now it's useless. And now you feel like you're wasting your money because you've already opened it, because you want to paint it, because you want to use it. So now you can't take it back. So I understand why things are slow, but it also, on the other side of it, is if as a player, as someone who wants to play and buy new models because they want to play good, it's very frustrating.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
But that's why they're not just a game, isn't it? You know.
Yeah.
You get more out of it than just moving a few coloured sprites around on a screen. I've got this very cool looking Tyranid army, for instance, which I'm giving away, or I've given away rather. You know, we have this tactile experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's impossible to balance it that quickly without losing all of these.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. So what's the real fix? I think the real fix is I think the real fix is Games Workshop release a Chapter Approved. It's got all new missions, it's got all new secondaries, it's got faction secondaries to boot. And it clarifies that Space Marines can only take one, not two. Unlike anyone else.
You'll get the blurb at the start of the missions. It tells you what to do. Tell you what's allowed and what isn't. Because in there, that's where the rule of 3 is. That's where the rule for like Deep Strike by X turn is. All that sort of stuff. And it'll say in there, you can only use the secondaries from this book.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That means your match play secondaries are still there if you're playing Marines, but it's not competitive game mode. It's just we're just playing 2,000 points instead of power level because we like the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
They're still there, but they're not there for a tournament.
Yeah, I agree, and that'd be good. I think if they did that, that'd be cool. But that's the problem. While they're releasing secondaries in Codexes one at a time, not only are you getting a disparity in how strong an army is, you're getting disparity of how well the army can play the game.
Yeah,
which is what we're seeing with.
Not forget there are 26 factions in the game.
Yeah, exactly. So you think whoever's last, probably GC the Cult, ain't going to get secondaries for ages, and the worst army already.
Yeah, exactly. Even if Games Workshop released a Codex once a month, which we know they're not doing, we know they can't do, it would still take more than 2 years for your army to get back to maybe being okay and competitive, right?
Yeah.
If they do it every 2 months, it's going to take 4
donkeys.
years. 4 months.
Mm-hmm. And the way release it, they're trying to release 2 a month, and then obviously they just have production issues because of everything that's going on.
Everything else. Yeah.
So, it's just it's that I think that's the best fix. Chapter approved. All new missions, all new secondaries, including faction secondaries if they want to, or ban them outright. I've said it from the start. And I'll die on this hill because I think it's a comfy hill with a nice tent.
I will be with you on that hill.
Yeah. If you want to join me on that hill, like the stream or press !host, please. There you go. That's it, boys. That's all we've got for you today. So let's do some whip gallery. Let's see what you guys have been working on. Discord. !whip. Or just look at the description if you're watching on YouTube. Join the Discord. Yeah, thank you much to the host. Welcome to the hill. Weatherfnords. Welcome to the hill. There's 74 people currently on the hill. There's 162 thinking I don't want to be on that hill.
It's more than 6 outdoors at once. We're in trouble, lads.
Exactly. It's gone over the set funny sex number now, so what can we do? Rip a Rooney.
So I'm tired AF. My brain took just slightly too long to work that one out. When you said funny sex, I had an image of clowns. I'm like, hang on. What? My finger. No, my finger.
Okay, let's have a look at the Discord. Let's look at the memes. People have been posting memes today. We're going to be starting from when the stream started because there was a very nasty meme. I didn't like it. We got a hot tub. This is a green screen hot tub, I think, because I said hot tub streams the Twitch meta. I'm going to have to do a hot tub stream very soon. MC Jaeger, thank you much for the host. Really appreciate it. Is that what it's for, Gods of All Trades? Is it a green screen tub? I could do that. When are you doing your hot tub stream, Jay?
I had a lot of people request that over the
it's
weekend.
The new meta. You don't want to know what the new meta is? It's not Drakari, it's hot tub streams.
It's hot tub streams. Apparently, it's hot tub streams. I've said that if I airbrushed with a hot tub stream, it's just all manner of things that will likely go wrong.
Mod Moon, my MS Paint skills, love it. Great job. We love MS Paint. OP, please nerf for Necrons. We love MS Paint. Draw streams, draw deployment, draw memes. Let the feast begin.
Brilliant.
Raiders are flying hot tub.
It's actual corn flakes as well.
It is very good. Very, very good. That's very funny.
Fire to a 7th edition rulebook. Mentalists.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Love that. Don't really know what's happening, but I love it.
I don't understand it either. Looks like some weird weeb bullshit to me. So.
Yeah. Gumbellini, you lost me there.
I'm just glad it was that and not, say, a South Park character that is much beloved that would take your order, please. Because there have been some horrible things said about that model.
Yeah. The Fresh Prince Mohawk.
Yeah. That was because there's a clip of me doing this on stream. I did a little Fresh Prince intro.
Nice.
Not with different lyrics. It was good.
Migu, Drakari aren't overpowered. You can't handle them. If those Marine players could read, they'd be very upset. Literally. I mean, that is though. That's the plot of my video of the stream tonight. Drakari aren't overpowered. You just don't know how to play them. Brilliant. Classic Steve Bonner. Oh no. I love the attempt. Just the terrible Photoshop, and it makes it even better.
I'm trying to work it out.
It's the Shining.
Oh, that's an axe. Right.
That's the axe. Here's
That is
Drakari.
terrible Photoshop. Yeah, you're right.
Here's Drakari.
Nice. Nice.
Juice, just keep buying all those £40 picture books for 2 date sheets. Yeah, literally. Marine players be like, oh, sorry, Drakari players be like, that's funny. Drakari Codex is about to be printed. Yeah, I can't wait for it. GW's rule writer. You did proofread it, didn't you?
Fuck.
That's funny. This one's good. There's a new meme template in the meme templates meme channel of me and Georgie holding a white sheet.
Awesome.
Very good. Successful giveaway, MC Jaeger. I love how I understand this reference.
I understand this reference. I don't understand SpongeBob, but I understand this reference. He was a hero.
Brilliant.
A hero.
Let's have a look at Stream Models Whip.
This will have to be a bit of a quick fire round for me, I'm afraid, because I have a lesson very soon.
You can shoot if you want to.
No, but I'll have a quick go.
Okay. Thank you very much for the follow, Juice Blocks. Science Pie, how about through my Cron Scatter Terrain? Very cool, man. Very cool. Love it. Excellent. I love this terrain. I just don't know what to do with it.
It is cool. I don't need 2 sets for this.
No. We've also got some Cursed City terrain. Very cool. I love this little bird boy. Very cool. I like it.
I like the fact you painted as a magpie as well.
Yeah. Stealing a key. Little magpie stealing a key. Very cool.
You like it because it's a bird committing theft, which is the entirety of your Space Marine army.
You can't tell, but I'm nodding. Hey, Juice Blocks, thank you much for the Prime. Really appreciate it. Thank you, man. Very cool. Thank you. Thank you. Very nice of you. Thank you for donating your Prime over here. You literally stolen $5 from Jeff Bezos, and that's always a good thing. Dan Stuff, Cursed City and 40k backlog this week. Thanks for the tutorial reference, Mike. No problem, dude. Yeah, I painted my Varg gear using a tutorial by Tale of Painters, which is very good.
Oh, nice.
Nice work on the Black Star, Corvus Black Star, I think it's called.
Corvus Black Star. Yeah.
Man, these armies that I don't own because I haven't seen them in like over a year. I'm like, what is it again? Oh, nice, dude. Look at this. Cursed City coming on check. Love it. We didn't manage to play last night, but we'll hopefully be playing one day this week. So make sure you join the Discord. I'll make sure to be in the announcements as soon as we know the day.
One of my favourite objectives is the skeleton with clearly like someone's put a bag over his head.
Yeah, exactly.
And then hung him.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of bastard have you got to be for that to be your final punishment?
And I love is just like, yeah, it was that one over there.
Yeah, he did it.
Jeff Bezos crying somewhere. Don't give my money to Hellstorm Shill Gaming. That's how it goes. That is what he does. After he gets off his private jet onto another private jet, he goes, fuck's sake, Hellstormwargaming stolen $5 once again. Because someone used their Prime Gaming. Oh, dear. Great work, Dan Stuff. Guys of all trades working on some Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Very cool. Working on some Immortis Guard. I'm actually been painting some Bone Reapers. Did you know? You probably didn't.
I didn't.
I've been painting them again because after I fell out with the Zinch last week, I started painting some Bone Reapers. I don't have a picture on the PC, but I can show you this. This is a picture I sent to Toby earlier. There we go. You can see that. That's some Bone Reapers, everyone. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anyway.
Nice, man.
Well, nice work.
I'm surprised. I thought you'd have been painting Custodes because you didn't buy any.
Are you wanting to upset me tonight?
Yeah, actually.
Why? What have I done?
I think it's hilarious.
If anyone doesn't know, Valrak was supposed to sell me a Custodes army. Then there was a lockdown, so I couldn't go get it. Then he was supposed to bring them 2 weeks ago. And then someone offered him more money than I offered him, so he said he's going to go with that. And I said, fair enough.
I mean, as it is, fair enough. But be someone committed. Come on.
Right?
Conviction.
Fucking
Give me your word.
lockdowns.
That's your word.
Lockdowns, man. Oh, well. Vexing Hunter working on some knights. Nice, dude. Got Castellan, got some Helverins, got some Warglaves, and you got Crusade as well. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Forge Break.
Looks like you've magnetized that Questorius Knight as well. Good man.
Yeah, good work. I mean, Vexing Hunter magnetized the entire Grey Knights army, right?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah.
I mean, if he didn't magnetize Knights,
Yeah.
but magnetized Grey Knights, we'd be having
Can I
some
just
serious
say what
issues.
An absolute boss Vexing Hunter is. It's not the foreground that I'm thinking of here. It's the background.
Look at that printout.
I love that architect's board, the printout of all of them. Mate, I love you. You are amazing.
That is very cool.
That hits all my OCD buttons and just yes, legend.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Nice work. Can't wait to see some color on them. It's going to be really cool. I'm sure you're going to do a smashing job. Nice work. Great job so far. Forge Breaker says, chop, chop, block, block. Because he's working on his Space Marines, it's Indomitus Marines plus extras.
Yeah, it's a lot of Blade Guard fans.
A lot of Blade Guard. Hey, Hiko, how's it going?
How have you found painting the shields? Because, ugh.
You found a place to put hazard stripes yet? Have you decided? Because I know that's what you were asking last time. But nice work, dude. Looking really cool. Like your Uriel Ventress standing as well. Cool model, that one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they missed that on the front. Yeah.
Remember all the Space Marine stuff. It's just everything else I forget.
More people with swords.
More people with swords. Hell yeah. Moon Tyrannid working on his Luminef by the looks of it. Some new Luminef. Got some Archer boys. Really broken, I've heard. So make sure you get plenty. Who'd have thought?
If you hadn't said these were Lumineth, I'd have said Wood Elves because, pointy ear with bow.
Yeah. It's Luminef are basically high elves, aren't they? So they're very similar.
Mm. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Archers, man. Who thought putting shooting in a combat game was going to be broken?
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Like, let's play a game with no terrain. I've got loads of guns. Old guns, but guns nonetheless. Crazy and GT working on some sisters. Oh, nice, dude. I love the mottling effect on the armor.
Yeah, he's doing a whole Sisters army full NMM as a way to push himself.
Wow.
To be able to get better at it. That's some commitment right there.
Brave, but I can't wait to see more. That looks really cool. Really great job so far. Really great job. Excellent work on these. Love them. Nice. Nice. We got Maxwell, no paint today. I've jumped onto the Dark Eldar train, but it was full. Going to try and bring Inari back in. Oh my lord. Maxwell.
Okay.
Maxwell, we need to have a chat. This is bad. This is an addiction to Incubi.
Max, if you turn to your left, you'll see the meta. And if you just dive at it now, you might just catch it. Go on.
Go.
Do it.
Go.
Do it.
That is a lot of Incubi.
Keep going.
And witches. What is it?
Yeah,
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 30 Incubi. I can count. That was maths, everyone. Did you see that? It was good, I think.
Heard it.
Yeah. Wowzer.
Do you reckon the hero guy at the front, he's the only one whose name I can't remember?
The
not
Yvrain, not Yvrain. The Vizarch.
Vizarch. That's it. I love that model.
So cool. So cool.
Right. I've always looked at his rules and gone, you're kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
So
you're not Drazar, like the Andy meme. I don't want to play with you anymore. Just drops the Vizarch and just picks up.
You're neither a Psyker or a Greater Demon of Death. Like, what's the point of you?
Brilliant. Joe Gregg working on some Zinch. Woo! Spicy colours, these. Love it. Hot Zinch in action.
These look good.
Yeah, I like it.
These are actually kind of the reverse of your colours because you had blue bodies
with pink tails, yeah,
yellow eyes and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Very cool. I like it, man.
Keep on them, man.
Keep on it.
Paint there.
Yeah, got some pink horrors as well in the back by the looks of it. Very cool. Kit-based test for my Adeptus Titanicus army. Ooh, like the colour of this. Very cool.
Yeah.
I keep looking at Adeptus Titanicus being like, do I want this? Do I want this? And I keep telling myself no.
I get it. The one thing I will say is that the incredible and insane level of detail on those small scale models is just mind blowing. But when you're painting, the entire model feels like you're painting eyes. That's how much like you've got to hit all those rivets.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to put a little bit of trim.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I just want that War Master, man. That War Master's so cool. I want to use it as a Castellan. Put it on a bigger base or whatever it needs. Make it higher. I don't care. I want to use it as a Castellan. It's so cool. But Git Face, excellent. Once upon a time, I painted a Warhound, and this gives me big feels from when I was. Remember there with my drill, just like drilling through it, just like no shits given, just like fully charged drill, 10 mil drill bit, just drilling holes into it so I can get a rod through the middle.
Nice.
Forge on, man, what a fun time. Legionnaire, Mr. Harry, working on some classic metal commandos. Nice, dude. These look ace. Very cool.
Yeah. Great work on the lenses as well. That guy in the background with the goggles.
Yeah,
Sick.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Love it, man. Cerisco, I don't recognise your username. Welcome to the Discord. Working on Plague-based Crawler. This is beautiful. Beautiful. That is really, really vibrant, really nice. Lots of cool battle damage and rust effects. Very cool. Very vibrant colour scheme. I like it.
Richness of that green. You know, super bright highlights, but that is a powerful green all over, and it's amazing.
I think it's not
my favourite thing about this is the use of verdigris. There, you've got both rust and verdigris, like oxidization, on the same bits of armor panels. It breaks it up so well.
Yeah, exactly. I think with this green, it's not like army green. It's like a very like vibrant green. You know.
Yeah, that's what like forest green. Like
yeah, exactly.
Summer green,
which is cool. It's very cool. Got side view as well. Got a nice contrast on those pipes. Nice work. Great job.
Yeah.
Love it.
You've hit all the details too. Big fan.
No one does this. Well done. It's just silver and dry brush, right?
What's a dry brush?
We got Mr. Finods. I don't know what he's got there. I can't tell.
I'm going to say
Hades?
This is heads. No, Hades. Okay.
Nice, dude.
I was going to say maybe some resin parts.
Yeah, it looks like it.
For what looks like some version of a Space Marine.
Cool. Reclusiarch Grimaldis. Oh, baby. That is nice. That's a nice Ragnar conversion, that. Nice. Very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
That's cool.
That's pretty. I love it. Where's the sword from? The sword's beautiful. A little bit of chain there. Very cool. The helmet, yeah. Very nice. Very, very cool. Wow. What a model to finish off.
Top notch, man.
Great job, Reclusiarch Grimaldis. Very cool. And that is it. That's all we got for you, gamers. That's the end of the stream. It's been Monday night show. It's been the 40k show. We talked about 40k, which is great.
We definitely have.
It is great.
Yeah, lots of 40k chat.
Yeah, very cool. I know it's the Emperor's Champion, but his username was Grimaldis. Tom. What? No AOS? No, we skipped AOS today.
Yeah, we didn't talk about orcs.
No, nothing interesting about AOS this week, except for I was painting it. That was the most interesting thing.
That was the only thing happening in AOS this entire week.
That is it, yeah. No, nothing else happened. But no, thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Really, really appreciate it. If you want to watch more of the 40k show, you can go to the live streams channel and go watch more. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, we will be back next Monday at 6 p.m. as always. I've been joined by my lovely co-host, Mr. Mohawk Miniatures from twitch.tv/Mohawk. Do you want to tell them what time you're live, Jay?
Mohawk Miniatures. But yes, we are live on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 9 p.m. BST. We are also live on Saturday mornings from 11 a.m. So come and join in. It's our giveaway night on Thursday night. So you bag yourself a painted Abandoned the Spoiler, the brand new Lilith Hesperax model for your clearly broken Dark Eldar army, or the contents of the mystery box. Mystery box!
There you go. So that's if you want to check out more of Jay, you can go check him out there. Absolute legend. So thank you very much for coming on, dude. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me here.
No problem. Again, if you haven't already, please check out yesterday's video. Stream spends. Yeah. I gave the stream my credit card and let them buy Bad Warhammer merch. It should be really fun. If you are subscribed, you're going to see a couple of these live streams come up as videos. Specifically, our Drukhari Broken and ITC Battle Stonks. That's probably what I'll call them, maybe. I don't know yet. Got the thumbnail in my head. I ain't got the title yet. But also, this Sunday, we've got a cool coffee time, which will be how I became the fastest painter on Twitch. It's coming. We had to delay it, but it's coming. It's coming.
So, in an ironic twist, then, you were the fastest painter on Twitch, but it took ages to prove it.
Hey, man. You know, diamonds are made under pressure.
Comedy is.
Exactly.
Timing.
It's all about timing. You said it yourself. Well, thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you again for all the subscriptions and all the hosts. It does make a massive difference. Thank you for all the primes. Honestly, you make the world of difference. You keep my lights on. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it.
Even at night?
Pardon?
Even at night?
Yeah, I mean, these lights never go off. You know, when these lights go off, that's it. I'm done. No more Warhammer. That's it. When the lights go off.
Life support lights. Light support.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I just ran an advert rather than raid. I just ran an advert. I'm so sorry. How do you stop the advert?
No. You can't.
Oh my god, I can't believe I just ran an advert. I'm 1 minute.
I can. You horrible shit.
I was supposed to raid.
Yeah.
If you're a subscriber though, you don't get it. So we're gonna raid someone in the Warhammer category. That's what I tried to press. I just said to keep my lights on, so you know. If you're a subscriber though, you don't get to watch it. So hey,
if you subscribe, I won't add on you.
Thank you very much, Forge Breaker, for donating that sub to Mr. Gumbalina. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And that's one more person who doesn't have to watch ads anymore. So well done.
You won't know he's got the bloody thing to get. That means Gumbalina's got that block on. Gumbalina's a bad person.
I don't think I block words very well on Twitch, though, does it?
I wouldn't know. I don't have it turned on for Twitch.
No, neither do I, but I've heard rumours. Who shall we raid? There's
a guy I quite like, actually. Hellstorm Wargaming. Oh, that's you. Shit.
I mean, I am pretty good, to be fair. Let's raid. We raided him last week, but we'll raid him again because he's working on a cool titan. We're going to raid Mr. Studio J7. He's an absolute legend. He's really nice, cool. I'm not going to run another ad. So if you're watching on Twitch, tune into the raid. Go say hello. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. We are going to leave you. I love you. And say good night from me and Jay. Good night, Jay.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night, Mikey.
Bye. Bye.